everyone, and welcome to the second day of playoffs here in the summer split of CBLOL. I am Camcom joining you for the first time, and we were just talking about this, Hawk, I think for about a month, and the last time I was here on CBLOL was with you as well, so thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing me back for some playoffs today, Hawk. How are you doing on this Sunday afternoon now?
Well, Sunday afternoon maybe for you. Sunday morning for me still.
Okay,
but
well.
hey, it's sunny outside. That's all that really matters. I'm doing fantastic because we have more CBLOL. We had 5 games yesterday.
Yes.
Maybe to the chagrin of Furia fans, but Loud fans were very happy about it. Well, actually, that might be a stretch. They might not have been that happy about that series going 5 either, but we're hoping for the same thing today.
You know what? As long as we win, can't be too mad about anything, right? So
There you go.
let's take a quick look at the bracket, though, to remind ourselves what did end up happening yesterday. Let's take a look. Yes, you did give us a little bit of a spoiler. Loud did end up taking Furia in a reverse sweep yesterday. Very exciting stuff up there. We are still on the top side of the bracket, though, as today we do have Red versus Fluxo. And, of course, the winner of this matchup will be taking on VKS in the second round on the top side of the bracket next weekend.
Yeah, a daunting opponent perhaps lying in their future, but you don't want to go down to the lower bracket where Furia does lie in wait. And Cam, for this matchup today, it is a tale of 2 teams. One of massive success in the back half of the split, the other, after a 6-0 start, really falling by the wayside. And we'll see if Fluxo is able to bounce back to overcome Red for the first time out of any team in the past 4 weeks.
It's so crazy how opposite these 2 teams' trajectories have been throughout the whole summer split here, right? Where Fluxo, they started off 6-0, and now they've lost, like, basically every single match since then, right? Like, I don't know, did they win a match in the last, like, 2-3 weeks?
Well, they won just last week. They beat Loud to make it to playoffs.
I'm not super crazy. I was like, they definitely won, but I forgot when the last time they won was. And then Red is the complete opposite. It's like they had a really rocky start. They were sitting there in the 6th to 7th place, like tied with a bunch of other teams as well. Then now they're coming out
in 8th at one point.
Yeah, they were definitely out of the playoff contention at some point, and then
3 and 7.
That is a rough way to start.
Yeah. Oh, it was terrible.
And now look at them. They're on the top side, and we're singing their praises at the beginning of playoffs, which is not what we would have thought about a month ago.
Yeah, let's pull up the Red roster because it has been incredible. Like, this team looked like one of the worst teams in CBLOL. FNB was having an off split. Aegis and Grevthar felt like they were struggling to sync up. Frosty was still having some of his sophomore season growing pains, and Brunsey was like kind of just mid, right? And the team looked terrible. They were in 8th place, 3 and 7. It was not their split. Great expectations for this roster, and they were going to fall short of everything, right? Wrong.
Right.
8 wins in a row in the back half of the split. The last loss was to K-Stars on the first day of the second round robin. FNB is looking like one of the best top laners in the league again. Aegis is looking like the best jungler in the league. Grevthar ever consistent, and Frosty in particular has been someone that has stepped up massively in this win streak for Red, looking phenomenal on the Engaged Champions, a part of his game that we criticized him for the first split and a half that he played here in the CBLOL.
And I'm so happy that FNB is finally back. It is, I want to say peak form, but just like significantly better form than he was just a month or 2 ago. Because when I first started casting CBLOL a few years ago, FNB was the top laner. Like, everyone feared this man. And then the graph has gone downhill a little bit. And then all of a sudden back here in playoffs in the last playoffs of official CBLOL under the brand of CBLOL, right? This is the man of the top lane. Once again, FNB is back and ready to go against. We can look at the roster now for Fluxo on the other side of the lineup today.
Yeah, and like we said, a roster with a bit of a different trajectory. After starting 6-0, they lost 6 straight to go to 6-6, but then they managed to win 3 of 6 and finish the split 9-9. Lost their tiebreaker to Furia on the final day, but that's okay. They're still here in playoffs. And this is a team that really relies on their mid-jungle, Shinny and Fu. Their wins have come from early proactivity and aggression. Fu, very much an enjoyer of the current AD carry mid-meta. Even in previous splits during his rookie split last time around, Tristana was a favorite of his. Kiari, Trigo, Scamber, generally, I feel like somewhat consistent, able to hold their own against many of the best players here in the CBLOL, but oftentimes not able to create winning advantages, which is a bit of a concern when we're staring down a Red Canids that we just talked about how reliable they can be from this point in the split across the entire map, they haven't lost in a very long time. And in particular, if you're looking at their mid jungle to get ahead for Fluxu, well, they have to go against Aegis.
Okay.
It's a tough scene.
Yeah, that is quite the jump, I'm gonna say as well. Just as well from the fact that you've gone from 6-0 to now 3-6 in the second half of the split, and now Red has gone 8-0. This would be the first game that Red loses in what, like 3 or 4 weeks if they lost a single game today. Am I right in that?
Yeah, you were absolutely right. Yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oh, I'm getting a stack. Oh, no.
Okay, we're back. I accidentally I hit a hotkey and left the VMix, I think. We're back. Yeah, it has been.
I thought you were stat checking me. I was like, oh my gosh, she's taking me very serious.
No. I am checking. I want to see when the last like calendar date that the Red Canids lost, and it was in the month of June. It was.
Oh no.
On June 29th was the last time that the Red Canids lost a game. They didn't lose for the month of July, and now we're here in August, and they want to continue on those winning ways. So. Yeah, I mean, Red, it has just been so impressive. I worry for Fluxu because not only do I feel like their mid-jungle must get ahead in order for them to win this series, let alone a game in the series, which is going to be difficult, but then also looking at the side lanes, we talked about FNB, Brunsey, Frosty have been playing at the top of their game. I think Brunsey at his best is one of the best AD carries in the league. Trigo and Scamber just don't feel like they really stack up to what Red has to offer in side lanes. And while Red is not exactly an early game dominant team, in fact, they actually quite often fall behind in the early game, if only slightly, to then choose very intelligent fights in the mid stages to then take over. I actually feel like laning might be a concern for Fluxu in this series.
And we're going to have to see if they can work through those struggles, right? Because this is, I mean, not the last chance because there is double elimination, right? But this is the last chance if they want to go on the safe route for the top side. The bottom side of the bracket is significantly harder to fight against because you have, I think it's 2 more best of 5s to play than if you do it just win the first 2 and then all of a sudden you're in finals. But no, Fluxo, they don't want to go down the bot side, especially, again, after such a excellent start. Fluxo was looking like the best team in the split just a month or 2 ago, and now we're talking about, they're 6th place. That's the bottom seed for playoffs. They're struggling to even make it into the second round here on the top side of the bracket. What has happened?
Yeah, I mean, when in a split where so many other teams have improved a lot, you know, I think of the Red Canids and Furia in particular as being the golden examples of teams that actually ramped into the split. Fluxu, it feels like they had a bit of an opposite trajectory. Honestly, alongside Loud, which, by the way, was the last team Fluxu beat that was not Liberty or Los Grandes. So, you know, it was the last team that Fluxu really was able to take a game off of since the first 6 games of the split that actually mattered. and that is not something that you really want to see from a team that did have such a hot start. We thought they were going to be a team to beat, but it just turned out they had things figured out a little bit earlier than most of the teams, and then everybody else was able to catch up in the end with Fluxu sort of falling by the wayside.
Hawk, I don't know if you got caught up in the predictions as well, but once Fluxo started winning, I was like, all right, this team is just going to keep winning. And I was predicting them for, well, winning every single matchup probably like 3 weeks after the 6 weeks.
Well, because then also I'm sure you hit a point where it's like, surely they can't keep losing.
Right,
and then all of a sudden you hit 6 in a row and you're like, oh my God, they keep losing.
I don't know if we have any actual official predictions for today, but Hawk, you and I could give some predictions.
Yeah,
Why not?
Let's give some predictions really quick. What
do you
do we
want to go
got?
first or do you want me to go first? Oh, we got
I can go
draft. Never
first.
mind.
I can go first.
Okay, go
Red
ahead.
Canids 3-0. I don't think the mid jungle
no.
for Fluxu is going to be strong enough to be able to consistently rely on, and even so, I think the side lanes are going to be a massive problem. Red individually playing too well.
Okay. I gotta think about this now. I wanted to be a contrarian and predict Fluxa, but you've kind of convinced me on the opposite side now. So I'm gonna say 5 games because we had 5 games yesterday, and definitely nobody would have ever predicted in the right minds 5 games yesterday. So I'm gonna say 5 games, 3-2 for Red, I think.
All right.
I'm hoping for 5 games.
Hey, I like it. We'll see if Flux is able to take some games. It is going to have to come from the man that is picked by Shinny. He is the playmaker. He is the proactive one on this team, and he is going to try to get things done. But Red has locked themselves in a very strong team fight core. Good 2v2 in the bottom side with the Xayah, Rakan for Brunsey and Frosty do play with a reckless abandon. We mentioned the Rel for Frosty has been brilliant. The Rakan has been his second most proficient engaged champion. And as I said, has been really impressed with the growth of this player. Not only that, picking up the Rumble in the top side for FNB. This has looked like one of the strongest champions in the current patch. Has oftentimes been banned away permanently by the red side team. I'm actually quite surprised to see Flukes who give this one over.
I also really liked the Xayah Rakan response into the Vi, especially if Shinny is the playmaker of the team, right? You put him on the engage, melee engage as well of the Vi. That requires the enemy AD carry usually to be the one that you're targeting, but the Xayah is such a strong disengage Rakan as well as a lot of utility to keep that AD carry alive, and you can kind of just press R on either Xayah and Rakan, and immediately the Vi engage is just kaput. There's nothing more you can do, and now you gotta look at these other champions, which right now is only Rumble. Rumble as well is a pretty strong counter to Vi. With the equalizer and the movement speed that Rumble could get, he can make a lot of space and pretty much stay out of Vi's R range as long as he wants. So it is going to be quite hard if we are playing strictly for Shinny here for Fluxo to actually make many plays. On to the champions I've picked so far. Now they could say all of a sudden we're going to pick, I don't know, a Cinder mid lane or something, and then, oh yeah, that's the one that they're going to press R on every time for Vi.
you never know with Grevthor. I'm not expecting the Cinder. I'm going to be honest with you. One thing, Fu loves the AD mids, right? Red doesn't. Grevthor is actually winless on the AD carry mids so far this split. He does have one win on Jace, but I don't consider that like an AD carry, right? He's a little bit different in that style. So that is something to keep track of. Aegis has not shied away from the AP carry mids, by the way, despite that. Has played things like the Lilia. But we're going to get another Aurora. We had 2 games of it yesterday. It looked really good for half of one of those games. And then the other game and a half, it was absolutely terrible. We'll see how presumably Fu is able to pilot this champion. It could, of course, go into the top lane for Chiari, though, providing a lot of flex potential on R4. Counters up on the top side are generally juggernaut style of champions, which are not exactly what the Rumble fits the bill for, as a Mumu Yone. Red cooking something up as they so often do. First Yone of the split, and of course first a Mumu of the split for Aegis, because who the hell plays these champions?
Yeah, no, so a Mumu historically has been like the counter to Master Yi type of champions, right? Where the champion where it has so much dashing, has so much invincibility and vulnerability that you just need to have a champion that can press R and make that champion stop moving for some amount of time. Fluxo's really going to test my knowledge on champions that I know nothing about here with the Aurora, so I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Aurora has so much mobility. Yes, I do know the kit of the champion very slightly, but has so much mobility and so much movement speed that Red is going to test the ability of a Mumu to just have the lockdown permanence, again similar to that of a Master Yi. I don't know if Aurora has that same amount of movement speed that Master Yi does, but we're gonna find out. And then LeBlanc is the other champion picked. Now this makes me question, where is this Aurora going? Because I was told that she was a mid laner.
Definitely going
top lane now.
It's definitely going top.
Okay,
She's both the mid laner and a top laner. She actually has a higher win rate in top lane.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Definitely both the mid laner and the top laner. It's going top lane to play into FNB's Rumble. It is a R5 LeBlanc for Fu against Grevthar's Yone. The LeBlanc Vi going to provide an incredible amount of mid-jungle pressure. That is what we wanted to see out of Fluxo. Fu and Shinny, they need to link up together. They need to make plays, but of course, Chiari on the Aurora is going to be a fun one to watch as well. My concern, though, Cam, is
tell me.
Fluxo has a composition that wants to fight into Red. I think Red has a composition that is very difficult to fight into. You mentioned the Amumu. Also, Xayah, Rakan, a lot of counter initiation, a lot of lockdown. Champions that don't mind kiting in and out of the engagement is what Red is locked in. I think stylistically, Fluxo going to struggle a little bit if they're not able to get leads onto their solo lane mages.
Yeah, the 2v2 in the mid jungle, I think, is going to almost entirely decide this whole game. The bot lane, we're scaling. There's going to be no action in bot lane whatsoever. I'm going to tell you that right now. The mid 2v2 is going to be wild, though. Yeah, it's interesting though that Red pretty much showed their whole draft hand in the first 3 picks, where we're playing disengage and we're playing for you to come at us, and then we're gonna run away for 5 seconds, let you burn all your CDs, and then we'll re-engage and actually win the fight from that. And then the Amumu Yon fit into that playbook perfectly as well. The Vi is completely countered, and I'm also curious as well what the thought process for the LeBlanc is as well, because there's, again, so much disengage. Once LeBlanc blows her cooldowns, there's not a lot that she can do, and this team comp that Red has drafted so excellently here is built just to do that. So we will see how the draft ends up actually impacting the game here in game number 1 of our second best of 5 this summer split.
Yeah, I do believe the idea behind this LeBlanc pick is to try to generate a laning 1v1 advantage up against Greftar's Yone, but I'm in agreement with you. I think it doesn't really scale that well into the side lane matchup. Eventually, Greftar's Yone will just have a lot of stats, and not only that, I think LeBlanc very difficult to execute in the team fights against all the CC that Red is packing. And I mean, Red, they have the ability to play reactive with something like the Xayah, but let's not forget they have an incredible amount of counter initiation with the Yone, the Amumu, the Rakan, and the Rumble that can fly in onto an individual member of Fluxu if they're able to be locked down. And only one of them, Trigo, naturally having the cleanse.
All right, Hawk, I'm going to rely a whole lot on your Aurora knowledge here. How much does this champion scale? Do you know? It's okay if you don't know.
Seems like she, in my experience, is a mid-game champ.
Okay.
Her damage scales like crazy, and her ultimate is one of the best abilities in the game. It is absolutely bonkers. However,
yes, those look ridiculous.
Yeah. However, her damage is difficult to land. So in my experience, a bit more of a mid-game champ, has a lot of burst on like 1-2 items. Kiari likely going to go for the Rod of Ages Leandries, which is what we saw yesterday out of Tuts. So we'll see.
That is a relatively, in theory, again, similar spike pattern to Rumble, at least. So I do like that selection against the Rumble. B1 as well, by the way. Very scary for B1 Rumble, just letting that champion through at all. It is such a powerful champ, like you did mention in draft, especially for FMB up there on the top side. We didn't talk about it at all, but the Invade level 1 Aegis did not end up actually stealing anything, I don't believe, from Shinny, but did get a lot of vision. And Red will see exactly where Shinny is clearing and the exact time, which does let FMB play a little bit more aggressive if he does want to, as they will know Shinny is on the bot side for the next couple of minutes here.
Aegis did actually get the Raptor camp. However, he's not level 3 yet. So Shinny is going to try to, with his level 3 and red buff advantage, which he was able to force Aegis off of, walk in and attack the Amumu, as the Amumu is not going to really win this 1v1. And Aegis, or rather Shinny, has good push in both mid and bottom right now.
Yeah, Aegis doesn't even have his red buff yet, and without a red buff, it is extremely difficult to win a level or 1v1 even against even someone else that is the same exact level as you. So now Aegis is going to actually get 3 buffed, extremely damaging for a champion that is trying to hit level 6 as fast as possible, like the Amumu. Shinny doing exactly what you do when you pick a Vi, is just put the enemy jungler down as far as you can in experience. Aegis got everything except for his red buff, though, so it's not going to be too devastating.
Yeah, it's actually pretty even in terms of camps. Obviously, Aegis didn't do his Gromp, so it's a little bit awkward, but they stole a Raptor camp for a red buff. The bigger thing is that was a beautiful punish from Shinny, understanding that there's no way in hell the Amumu could possibly have a red buff because Shinny was able to secure his own. As we are seeing very heavy trading in mid. Again, Fu picked this champion to try to put pressure down onto Greftar. He's up a little bit of CS, as you would expect, in the range versus melee matchup. See if he's able to maybe get a solo kill here.
No. Oh, no. Greftar W'd the wrong way. That was so devastating. Fu, though, did end up taking a tower shot. You see he had no more mana left to try and even continue that trade. We got a gank down here in the bot lane. Trigo, eat backwards, can't go back into the fight. But Bronze no mana, forced to flash away from Scamper's W. Back into the bush. Frost able to dash away. I don't even know if they actually end up seeing Shinny. They obviously see him right now, but on the other side of the map here, Aegis doing what the little Momo does and clearing the chickens as fast as you possibly can.
Oh, maybe a potential dive up here in top lane. Kiari still has a big wave under his tower. They do see Aegis now. He's going to try to clear this one out as fast as possible. I think the minion wave arriving will save him, but yeah, flash down and bottom. You take that one every day of the week if you are Fluxu. Getting the big summoner spell off of Bronzy, we already saw as well, it being burned away from Greftar. 3 flashes unavailable for Red. Fluxu having full cooldowns across the map.
Kiari, no mana left, just using all of his spells to clear the wave as fast as possible. I do want to point out the fact that Red saw Shinny on the bot side did let FMB get that giant wave crash, and Aegis was there at the perfect time in case they actually wanted to go for the dive, but the dive was not available just because Kiari burned all of the spells to clear the wave as fast as he could. Frosty here in the mid lane, 3v2 here. Everything lands, but it's all onto Yo, and first blood picked up for Shinny. And now Frosty all left on his own. The burn is taken down, but he should be perfectly fine. Bronze arriving a little bit late. I don't think this is the fight that he really wants to take, though. Against his own chickens, it's a 1v2, but nobody having level 6 quite yet does mean Bronze should be safe here.
That was a really nicely played fight, though, from Fluxu, punishing the flashless Grevthar. Now fighting for the Raptors. Shinny down a level.
Why are we fighting for Chickens, Hawk? Someone tell me, what are we doing? Shinny is gonna die for these chickens.
Hey, Cam, you need to understand. Junglers are just like us for real. They go crazy for the fried chicken. You don't want to give that one over. Shinny, unfortunately, like I said, down a level, out of cooldowns as well. Maybe that fried chicken was best just saved for another day.
No, because look at the experience advantage that Amumu has over Vi. Remember, Vi did 3 buff this Amumu in the first 3 levels of the game and almost got a solo kill onto him as well. And now Amumu sitting halfway up on level 5 and Vi just hitting level 5 now.
But this was so well played, though. Look at Fu. He flashed over the Rakan to land the chain on a Grevthar, and without flash on the Yone or level 6, no way out once that first chain lands, hits the double chain. You can see that the Fluxu fans going crazy in the stands. I mean, that was an exceptionally well-played gank by the mid laner Fluxu. Unfortunately, he's not the one to get the kill, but at the very least, the first blood did go over to them.
I think Fluxu is actually very happy that Shinny got that first blood kill for him. That extra gold onto the Vi is going to be massive. I agree, they do probably want that, if anyone else, onto Trigo, but Trigo wasn't even in that play to begin with.
I don't know. I like when my LeBlanc gets kills personally.
But yeah, basically, Fluxu just way overstayed. Like, why are you still invading 45 seconds after the respawn times have already come back for Red, right? Like, you just do not have enough agency in this game at only 7 minutes in, right? To be going for those invades and very extended plays. You need to get those resets in early and fast is up here on the top side. Again, excellent jungle tracking. I've been talking about it as much as I can from the top side here. Aegis and FMB have known exactly where Shinny is pretty much every single point during this whole 8-minute game so far, and with that, they got the first 3 grubbies completely solo, and now get to pressure Shibby away from his red buff. I don't think they're actually going to take the red buff, but at least making Shinny waste some time here.
And it's really important, getting a neutral objective unanswered there for Aegis. Honestly, criminal with how much of a beating Fu is putting down onto Grevthar in the mid lane as far as the health bar and push advantage. You have to be able to get neutrals off of that. As Fluxu, you have to be able to get advantages. Remember, we had concerns about how this LeBlanc would function later on into the game, and so do not even get Dragon in trade for the Void Grubs, a bona fide advantage over to Red in spite of the mid pressure. Fluxu cannot allow that to happen.
Scamper looking for some sort of gank down here in the bot lane. Again, I said in draft, I don't think anything is ever going to happen in this bot lane, and so far,
they're pretty
mostly
safe.
been true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, Zyra Khan, Ezreal, like, man, where are my Dravens? Come on, guys.
All right, VRTT is not playing anymore.
At least I got a LeBlanc, though. And we got Aurora. Like, the solo lane picks from Fluxu are pretty fun. They had to do the Ezreal so that it's not all gas, no breaks. You know what I mean? It's just mostly gas, a few breaks. They're, you know, it's like an F1. They do still have to take the turns. They have to tap the brake when they're flying around it. But on the straightaways, that LeBlanc, that Aurora, that Vi, they're going to be flying in there at Mach 5.
But first, they have to make it through the early game here and hopefully get some objectives as well, as Fluxo has had mid and bot power for really at least the last 3 or 4 minutes and would have had a very easy timer, especially while Aegis were doing the first 3 grubs. But no, I'm looking at this dragon. How has Fluxo not taken this dragon yet, Hawk?
A phenomenal question. Yeah, I really think Fluxu, when you're playing a composition that has such a strong mid-jungle skirmish like this, you just have to be willing to play for river control. And I want to give a lot of credit to Aegis. I think Aegis has pathed very intelligently this game. He's actually got a substantial lead over Shinny in the 1v1 off of it. But still, like, where's the confidence coming out here from Shinny? He's been very boxed out of this game. Only took the one play towards mid, which admittedly was a very good collapse onto Grevthar, but by and large has played very reactively into the Zamumu, which is not what you want to see.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Hawk. Shinny has made almost no engaged plays. Yeah, the only engaged play himself that he has done has been the mid lane play. And that's the only one that's gone well for them, right? That was the first blood, and then past that, he ended up dying for some chickens, gave a kill over to the Rakan, and now finally, at 11 minutes into this game, Hawk, we see him starting the dragon, but this is not the timer that they wanted to start the dragon. Aegis is down here. The bot lane has hit level 6. Everyone's got their ults available. No vision on the dragon itself, but Red know it. They don't need the vision on it to walk into the pit here. Grevthar, a little bit of a 1v1 against Fu. 1500 left on the dragon. Aegis is in, though. It's going to be a smite fight. And the smite goes over to Aegis. Shinny forced to dash over the wall. Scammer now in the pit, all on his own. Fu dashes on only to dash away and watch his support crumble. 5 forced to dash out as well, and just like that, it's a dragon plus a kill over to Red. Fluxo, where did your early game go?
Yeah, and Cam, I think this game is over. I'm going to call it at 11.5 minutes because what the hell was that, Fluxu? They forced the dragon when Grevthar's coming off reset, so no health bar advantage for Fu that he had been getting for most of the game. Instead, they forced on a timer where Grevthar's actually able to join, and even though Fu does a good job of chunking him away, I think it was well played by the LeBlanc. That meant he was away. Shinny dashed out of the pit. Reyna Scamber engaged into the three-man. No. I mean, it was just miscoordinated from Fluxu. They weren't together on their calls, and they got punished massively for it. At the very least, they should be able to equalize on the Void Grubs, but they are going to have such a hard time in the later stages against this Xayah pick. And I think, you know, fumbling plays like this is not conducive to a victory.
Yeah, that was the team fight that Fluxo was supposed to win, and they weren't even supposed to really team fight. Look, Shinny is now forced out of the, again, only other objective that Fluxo have tried to compete for in this game. Now Red is going to have the Grubby Babies to help them out for the rest of the game. This is getting worse and worse for Fluxo by the minute. That was the dragon fight that they were supposed to win, and then they lost it. They're going to have maybe one more dragon fight. I'm saying maybe with the big question mark that they even have a chance of being competitive in. And they need to stop giving these very small advantages. Yes, the dragon and the grubs are the big ones that you can clearly see. Yes, that is a big advantage for Red, but it's all the other things. It's the wave crashes on the top lane. It's the experience denied in the jungle plays. It's Shinny not even being at smite range for the dragon. Shinny, where are you right now?
Well, and the bigger thing is what we just saw. Scamber finds what looks like a pretty sick engage out of 3 members, but Shinny vault breakered out of the pit. I mean,
yep.
This is the playoffs here in the CBLOL. We cannot be making mistakes like this if we hope to go the distance. Fluxu continuing with some of their miscoordination struggles that we saw plague them on the back half of the split. And I mean, this game, I agree, is going to be so difficult. And I want to give a lot of credit over to Red Canids. You know, I think ever since they fired their coach, they've gotten better at playing around early to mid-game neutral objectives. They're exceptionally good at their understanding of river control and what timers and fights they are actually allowed to take. I think their fight selection has been brilliant. So, you know, credit to Red continuing on that trend and boxing Fluxu out of the river. But, I mean, if that is going to be the struggle here for Fluxu, maybe the Vi LeBlanc is not the direction to go. They actually do still have about a 1,000 combined gold advantage in the mid-jungle. So the 2 guys that are meant to be ahead still are. The problem is exactly as I said. Even if those guys are able to do decently well, I have concerns for Chiari and Trigo in their individual lanes.
Yeah, this jungle matchup has been the matchup of the game so far. Taking a quick look at the gold on the left, though. Bronze, very quietly in the bot lane, has had a fantastic game. Has got about 10 CS lead over Trigo, which in solo queue means nothing, but in pro play like this means everything. He's got a massive
He's the richest guy in the game.
As well as a gold, or as well as a kill even lead over Trigo as well, just based off that last dragon play. And now, I also think Bronze got 1 plate, by the way. We saw the plate graphic on the bottom. Rift Herald started up by Flux, so they're interrupting my spiel about gold on AD carries. How dare they? This might be the first neutral objective that Flux will actually pick up this game, though, which I don't know if they're going to be able to use it to truly get a lead, but they will be able to use it very nicely to slow Red down. And as I say, the Aegis almost steals it away yet again. Frosty has arrived. Massive re-engage coming out from Frosty here, and here comes Bronze. That's the AD carry gold lead I was talking about. You lost the Rift Herald, but you gained everything else immediately after. The burn is taken down on Nakiari. He's not going to be able to run away from this one. It's a triple kill coming out from FNB, and he's massive once again on the top lane.
And that's why teams are first picking Rumble as FNB. The equalizer got laid down onto Fluxu, and even though they secure the Rift Herald, the fight is lost. The whole time, Grefthar was pushing in bottom, took the first tower of the game, and now Red Canids up 2,500 gold. A beautiful fight, 4v5 around the Rift Herald that they somehow managed to win.
Man, Aegis and Frosty have been on top of the engagers this game one, Hawk. Like, how? I'm assuming as well the comms between these two are almost perfect. They have, again, known exactly where Shinny is almost every single point in the whole game so far, and Aegis has been there for the counter gank, even there at the same exact time as Shinny for every single play he has done. And off of these neutral objectives as well, Aegis showing up at the exact right moment, at the end of the time that Flux was taking these objectives. That time he didn't hit the smite, but that's not going to be nearly as important as getting the triple kill and the double engage again with the help of Frosty to get FNB truly ahead of the top lane here. Now 1,400 gold lead over the Aurora.
And now second Dragon uncontested over to Red. Yeah, this game is so hard to play. Fluxu, their early game did not go the way they needed it to. And I love what you said, Cam, about look at how coordinated Aegis and Frosty look on the engages, because that was one of Red's biggest problems for so long, is that Aegis and Frosty just didn't look like they really knew how to play together. Frosty and the engaged champions in particular looked like a struggle. And the way that narrative has completely changed is amazing to see.
Trigo sitting about 50% of his HP under this tier 1 turret. Definitely not a safe place to be. I don't even know FNB is there, but Trigo is just not safe under this turret. But Bronze does not need to die for taking this turret either. Meanwhile, up here on the top side, Grefthar, another person that we have not talked about a whole lot this game so far. But you did mention last game, or last fight even, did pick up that first tower on the bot side and is making plays to do the same on the top side here as well now.
I mean, it helped close this individual gold gap against this LeBlanc. Obviously, you can see not really helping that much. I think maybe worthwhile to consider a Hex Drinker here for Grefthar, just so we can make sure we win the 1v1, because this is, at this point, the only win condition for Fluxu, is that Fu is still in a decent spot. I think Fu is playing well in this game, and you can see him putting down the beat onto Yone. Problem is, the rest of the map in complete shambles, while Fu is taking a tier 1 tower, Red is taking a tier 2.
Yeah, we didn't talk about it a whole lot as well, but the AD carry 1v1 that we saw in the mid lane a little bit, hold on, Trigo might just be caught out here. Again, Frosty is on top of these engages, man. Grifthar obviously did all the damage, and Frosty is there to actually get the true lockdown necessary onto Trigo, who, by the way, still has Flash available, saving that one for next time, but it is okay. Shinny, this jungle is not your own jungle anymore, my friend, and Red are now running over this map, Puck. They have full control over all of the jungle. The junglers can't even walk into their own jungle anymore. Scamber, you cannot go past your tower line anymore, my friend. Chinny got a nice engage, though, on
the equalizer.
Members, but the Rumble, where did that come from? That was absolutely huge. Again, this jungle is not your jungle. This tower is not your tower. This map is not your map anymore, Fluxa. Red, just such a strong showing in game 1 today.
I mean, this is an absolute stomp. I think you would agree with me. I think this is the last time we see Rumble this series, yeah?
If it was Fearless, then yeah.
Well, if it's, I think regardless of Fearless, I think we're banning this one away. Calculated risk. Calculated risk here from Fluxu to give it over to FNB. And man, were they bad at math. And that's okay. Sometimes it happens, but 5-0-0 hitting 2 items on the Rumble. First of all, we're going to see the pick onto Trigo, and this is a bad death. You are an Ezreal with both summoners available. You cannot die on this push. I want to give credit to Grefthar for landing the knockups, but Trigo just burned the Flash brother. And then in this 4v5, Trigo still dead for 10 seconds. Shinny, what the hell is this? We're going in 2v3 to try to defend the mid tower, and FNB rightfully burns them down.
Yeah, I would argue 2v5. Honestly, Scamper wasn't even in that play, and It was just, you're not even gonna win it outside of your turret, but in your turret,
It is a
especially
Zaya.
not
She can
as
just
well.
ult. Like, I don't understand.
I don't know what is happening. Oh, it's my first time
Aurora
seeing Aurora.
Gaming.
Oh, let's see what it does. Okay, FMB somehow still winning the 1v1.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
what's happening on my screen anymore. Hawk, FMB.
He's got the jukes.
fancy feet work. Kiari still sitting real high HP. FMB, what
No way.
is happening? Okay, I thought he was gonna walk away. I was gonna be real angry, but that was a 500 shutdown, 800 total gold picked up there for Kiari.
If that Q
guess.
missed, though, I don't think he had that kill. And now with Shinny dead, Red is going to start the Baron. This is ambitious. They're missing their strongest member. Has teleport when he respawns in 25 seconds. Frosty going to try to play goalkeeper. And with the Amumu, the Yone, the Zaya, this does go down quickly.
Hawk, I love nothing more than a 20-minute Baron flip. Let's do this. We got no more food. Shitty just respawned. Kara TP'd in the fight. 3k left. Aegis does have smite, but he's not in the pit anymore. Red now turning back towards the fight here.
Oh, Brunsey!
Amber, all CC though has landed. Yeah, Aegis just keeps going forward, man. There is nowhere left to go forward. But to even just finish the Baron, TP coming in now from FMB. He's a little bit late to the party. Shinny here as well. He's just going for his chickens. He doesn't want to fight for the Baron anymore. Oh no, FMB on the wrong side of Summoner's Rift. Rumble does a lot of damage, but will the equalizer be enough? Yes, it is. Trigo just respawned, set right back to the fountain. The Baron is claimed. A 20-minute Baron started up by Red, finished by Red. Everything going in Red's favor.
I mean, Red continuing to look like the best team in the CBLOL over the back half of the split as they play so beautifully around that Baron, finding the turn. They're going to find the objective off the back. And Frosty one more time on this Rakan. How about that reaction time with the quickness as Fu gets blown up trying to contest for it. And once the LeBlanc's out of the fight, there's no hope in hell for Fluxo to win. I think wisely, Red does opt for the turn, so it does not become a shooting gallery, removing all variables from the equation. They get on top of Kiari, they get on top of Scamber, and then even FNB with the deep TP able to turn things around. Infernal Soul Point in their pocket, nearly a 10,000 gold advantage. Only plus 1,500 on the Baron so far, but still towers to claim.
And Hawk, this all goes back to that very first dragon that Fluxo messed up only slightly. Like, compared to all of the other mistakes this game, that dragon was a very small misstep throughout the entire course of the 22-minute game so far, right? But that has been what truly started this now 10 or almost 10,000 gold lead that Red has accumulated for themselves. Whereas after that dragon, the gold was actually still totally even. It was maybe 500 the advantage of Red. But now look at this. We are 8,500 gold in the favor of Red. They have claimed every single neutral objective. They are still holding on to all of their mid lane turrets, which honestly, I think mid lane turrets is a really strong way of showing which team is really winning. And if you've taken 0, then you are very far behind your opponent. Look at this gold lead on the bottom of your screen as well. It is just all up on the blue side for Red. Yep, beautiful if you're a Red fan.
Yeah, I mean, this game is an absolute shellacking 23 minutes in. Red looking like they have it completely on lock. And, I mean, I want to give credit to Aegis for completely boxing Shinny out of so much of this early game, not letting the Vi LeBlanc get going the way that they wanted to besides one kill. And also Frosty has been everywhere on the map, executing these team fights beautifully on the Rakan, his second best champion, looking pretty damn good. 1-0-12, having nearly 100% kill participation, by far the most on his team.
Hey guys, your top side here. By the way, they're taking the inhibitor at 23 minutes. Finally, an arc coming out from Kiara, but nobody even died. They finally get one kill back on Aegis, but the rest of the team is still standing. Trigo trying to E away, but he's only an Ezreal with no utility left, with no team left for Fluxo. Forced to run back underneath their Nexus turrets. Look at Fu's HP. That is the member that we were saying from draft. You need to be the one to get ahead. You need to be the one to carry the game, and now it is all on his shoulders. Kiari as well, but already burned the Aurora ult. Such low HP members on Red. This would be a fantastic time for Fu to get some kills and get back into this game. But no, Red, they get to walk away. They still have the Baron for another 3 seconds.
Okay,
okay.
Everyone gonna walk away. Yeah, Red able to get out. They wanted to end with 3 members dead, but health bars were too low, and the LeBlanc Aurora do still command some threat. You can see how strong that Aurora ult can be. Interesting interaction, though. Zaya able to ult over the walls, because it's unlike Camille ult, which keeps you inside no matter what. The Aurora ultimate is all about if you touch the wall, you get bounced back inside. However, if you can get over the wall without touching it, you're fine. So you can't dash through it, but if you can blink over it, if you can go untargetable over it, it works. So the Xayah able to just ult out. And so Bruncy was able to create enough space, even though Aegis got burned down in the front line. Fluxu, at this point, just getting wallet gapped.
Yeah, I can guarantee you, when they picked Aurora, they didn't know the interaction.
At the very least, they didn't think about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't think about it. It makes perfect
Xayah.
sense. I just didn't really consider it.
That definitely seems like enough of an interaction where you would never pick Aurora against Xayah if you knew that was how that worked.
It definitely
What's
is
another
less than
champion?
ideal, especially because Xayah outranges you.
Yeah.
And then also can, like, kite you and pull the feathers back through you and one-shot you and kill you.
Mhm.
Yeah, not great.
There's a lot of reasons. I'm learning about Aurora, everyone. Thank you for helping me learn today.
Yeah, don't worry. I was totally thrown into the deep end yesterday. I didn't realize Aurora was enabled, and then I had to cast 2 games of it. So it was a very fascinating learning experience. I went and played a game of Aurora last night after the fact to to get my chops up on the champion.
I appreciate that, you know? You helping me
There they
down.
go again.
Ooh, there goes the ult again, Frosty. You see they're not able to dash over the Aurora ult, but
Oh,
might not even
Frosty.
matter if you just dash right back into the enemy team. I mean, what can Fluxo even do anymore? You got Bronzy and FMB just dancing around their feathers in your own base. You got no more wave on the bot side, but the whole wave up on the top side actually able to take the Nexus turret on its own. The wave might just be big enough for Red to end. Honestly, they don't even need the wave. Look at FMB, that damage, the Zhonya's, everything. Again, up in the favor for Red. Final Nexus turret will end up going down. It's only Chiari and Trigo left, and the Nexus is exposed. Red taking a dominant Game 1 win in the first best of 5 against Fluxo.
I mean, they just blew the doors off of Fluxu in that first game. A wake-up call. Welcome to playoffs. Red 9 games in a row now as Frosty, a quality game on the Rakan, putting that first one on lock.
Man, that was an excellent showing from Red. I love seeing all the Red fans in the crowd. They know how well their team is playing, Hawk. 9 games in a row. You do not get a 9-game win streak on accident. They are doing something right over there on the Red team house.
I mean, yeah, you can say that again. This is... I expected this to potentially be a one-sided series. I had concerns about whether or not Shinny and Fu would actually be able to get going enough to make anything happen. And I knew that the side lanes would likely not be able to stack up. And look, it's only one game. Fluxu still has time to turn it around, but that was
only one game.
That was not close. Chiari and Trigo individually just were not quite able to stack up to Bruncy and FNB. And Scamber was completely invisible in that game on the Rel, and I think that was such a big difference maker. Aegis tracked Shinny so well, which you so beautifully highlighted during the game.
Yep.
And then it was Aegis and Frosty that were so frequently able to link up with the team and become the engaged combo that was meant to be. The Rel and the Vi never really had such luck, and in fact, anti-synergy around that first dragon was really the start of the end. So early on into the game, around 11 minutes.
11 minutes.
Yeah, it was... I mean, Fluxu really back to the drawing board. I think the LeBlanc did not work for as well as, honestly, Fu played it. I think Fu played a fine game, but it just didn't work compositionally, and that was a tough game.
That was a tough game. We will have to wait and see if Fluxo can come back from that game. They've got 3 games left to prove themselves worthy of being the top side of the bracket here. CBLOL Summer 2024. We will be back with game number 2 here after a brief break. to game number 2 here of the second best of 5 here in the summer 2024 CBLOL split. Once again, I am Cam joining you today with Hawk after a dominant show in game 1 of our Red versus Luxo series.
Dominant, one-sided, incredible demolition of a destruction of Fluxu. Yeah, whatever you want to say. It was brutal. Fluxu, I mean, completely from minute 1, maybe 11, depending on what you decide, was boxed out of that game. Really struggled to get into it. But I want to give so much credit to Red. Aegis and Frosty did such a great job with the engages, setting up for the team, not allowing Flux to play the way that they wanted. And the game plan was sound. It was the typical Red game plan of, hey guys, let's just let Aegis do his thing in the early game. All of our lanes are just better. We're gonna farm it up, and then we're gonna out team fight you. And that is exactly what the Red Canids did.
We saw on the main CBLOL broadcast that they gave FMB the MVP. You and I have very different opinions on that.
Should have been Frosty.
I'm gonna stick to my guns. You're going with Frosty. I really think Aegis only Amumu deserves that one for MVP. FMB is like bottom. Even Bronze Hair Grevtar, I think, get MVP before.
Okay,
FMB
that's a hot take. I would give it to FNB third, but yeah, I think Aegis and Frosty. I mean, Frosty had like, I don't know the percentage because I don't know how many total kills they were, but he had all but 1 KP, which is crazy. Okay. Cam either way. Maybe he'll get it for this game.
For them.
No more snubs. As Red, now onto the Red side, Fluxu choosing blue after their defeat. They get their hands on the Ashe. As I said, Rumble, a champion I'm not expecting to see anymore. As Aegis, continuing with the tank jungler trend, onto now a Sejuani.
I noticed that Aurora was left unbanned. That champion was definitely not a problem last game.
Yeah, like, my take on Aurora is that I think she's good, but we've yet to see a team that is in good form play it. So that I'm reserving judgment. She seems inconsistent at best. Like, she's good at getting everybody low. She does a decent amount of AoE damage, but she can't solo carry a game. You need somebody else to be able to like clean up the fight for her. And so she's very good setup, but not necessarily a hyper carry mage.
I think it's funny that Riot's, they have the role classifications for all of the champions, right? Her role classification is assassin/mage. I don't know how to feel about that, with Tristana also being an assassin.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Also, okay, Riot's classifications are like, do they... I feel like Riot's classifications, though, are like, do they have dashes? Assassin. Like, I think that's how it is sometimes.
Assassin.
Yeah, exactly. Also, Aurora has a lot of
champions on our screens, by the way, Hawk. What am I looking at here?
Well, we are looking at a Ziggs mid for Grevthar into Fuz Azir. So back more to basics here for Fluxu. They tried to play the super aggressive early mid-game style with some fun solo lane picks. It failed spectacularly, and Fu was at least in good form. So they said, hey, let's put you on a champion that you should at least be able to have some pretty decent carry potential with. Unfortunately, getting counterpicked by a champion that outranges him substantially. Paired with Sejuani and Jhin, there's a lot of long-range pick potential and follow-up currently for this Red Canids composition against a bit more of a stalwart, but aimless, shall I say, Fluxu composition up to this point.
I am going to point out right now, at least, though, that Red's team comp is extremely low on the damage front, and they are still yet to even pick a support, which they're not going to be picking very high damage support. They have mid Ivern. I actually would have really liked to see Ivern. Big fan of Ivern, but we need some sort of hyper carry top laner, and I
FNB's
swear
got R5.
Please don't pick Aurora.
FNB's got R5. We can go, anything he wants.
Yeah, but like...
You still got Kennen,
Bard
you got
goes crazy
Camille.
here R4, actually.
Bard would be cool. Actually, I agree. I would be super down. I don't know if Frosty has ever played a game of Bard in his career. If I had to guess, Cam, I don't... Actually, well, Bard was meta... Hang on, I'm about to look this up.
Oh, we're so boring, Ben. Come on.
Okay, but it's his best champion. It's his best champion. I can let this one slide because it's his most played on the split. He's been spectacular on it. They've won all but one game with the champion. Like, and you saw those Rakan engages. They were so sick. How could you not want him on another engaged champ?
I did. I wanted him on Bard.
Well, I'm sorry, Cam. I can't do everything for you.
The producer just
Also, he's never played Bard in his career. Come on, Adam. I think Frosty opting not to first-time Bard on the CBLOL stage in playoffs is maybe wise. Although considering how last game went, maybe he could probably get away with it anyway.
All right, predictions for R5 here for FMB. Let's
Camille.
see. I think
Show me Camille.
Camille. I think Gwen might be go crazy here.
Oh, Camille's banned.
Olaf. No.
Kennen, maybe.
Don't like
I
Yon.
don't like Kennen.
We need more
Aatrox,
DPS than
Aatrox.
Yon.
Show me Aatrox.
Aatrox would not be bad. I would like a little more damage than that, though.
More damage than Aatrox?
Yep. You gotta hit Qs, man. I don't trust anyone to hit their Qs, but we do lock in the Yon.
That's a hot take. That's a really hot take. I'm gonna keep it stacked with you.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But either way, Yone, hey, how's that for damage? How's that for damage?
Okay. I'll give it to you. That is pretty good damage, but it is very low range damage. Look at the rest of this team comp here. You got a Jane, you got a Ziggs, very high range damage. So we'll see.
Yeah. But
How's
you got
that
long range follow up, right? You got the
Okay.
Fate Unsealed, Soul Unbound
my point.
kind of.
They are not the same.
Yeah. I feel like Yone actually a little hard to play into the likes of Nocturne and Braum, who really like champions that want to jump on top of them, but it is a good 1v1 matchup into the Gnar. Red, they should have the side lane pressure threat again from this Yone, and long range follow-up from everybody. Ziggs, Jhin, Sejuani, Rel can set up from a screen away. I think a lot of responsibility on Shinny to provide counter initiation with this Nocturne pick. The Vi failed to get it done last time around. Let's see if in this good matchup against Aegis' Sejuani, Shinny can get some things going for the team. Paranoias need to be on point. When the engage comes through, you have to turn off the lights.
I really like this extreme draft pivot, like you mentioned, from Fluxo. Last game, they were all super low range, super high damage, run at them, team fight, whatever you possibly can for engage. This game, they've gone a complete 180. We're picking Ashe and Azir for disengage. We're picking them for long range. Like, this is a very different team comp that has, I think it shows they're playing much more safe for the second game. There's a lot more, anti-snowball measures, I think would be how I would put it here for the Fluxo team comp. So they're not going to be losing the game at 11 minutes off of one dragon play, basically. Yeah. I think they have a lot more agency in this game to be allowed to make more mistakes, and they will still be allowed to play the game, hopefully, is what I'm reading from this team comp.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think Fluxo has a actually pretty good draft here. I think their anti-initiation is just brilliant. I mentioned the Nocturne ultimate to be able to turn off the lights to deny a lot of the long-range pick, but then not only that, Braum, I think, is a fantastic pick for Scamber this game. My one concern here for Fluxo is the 2v2s. Not exactly, or rather, the lane matchups, including the 2v2, not exactly going in their favor. The Yone is going to scale very nicely into the Gnar. The Ziggs is going to really have a good time against Fuz Azir. And then even down on the bottom side, it's a bit contested between the Jhin, Rel, and the Ashe Braum. So Fluxo needs to be able to survive the early game. And we saw how effectively Red was able to control the map with an advantage last game.
I think it is a little interesting as well that these team comps are almost exactly mirrored matchup-wise here. Top to bot, pretty much. Every single champion plays a similar style to their opponent, which means largely it's going to come down to macro. It's going to come down to who can play the large-scale game better rather than the micro, because in theory, the micro is so similar to each other. And off of the back of a very difficult loss that Fluxo just took last game, and off of the back of Red, by the way, still 9-game win streak, you don't want to be just forced to hands check and brains check, really, your opponent. It's very hard to win that way.
It definitely is, especially with how great of macro we saw Red play, because, again, they controlled the map so well with an advantage, but not only that, even from slightly disadvantaged states when they didn't have push in mid, they did such a great job of playing for river control. Both junglers starting on the bottom side, though, recognizing that top lane likely to be the most volatile position early on into the game, as if you can get the Gnar or the Yone going, that side lane can become quickly one-sided.
We'll have to wait and see. Again, this bot lane, similar to last game, screams to me we're going to be waiting until level 6, I think probably on both sides, to end up fighting. And again, like you just mentioned, the both junglers starting bot side does mean the top side we'll get at least a little bit more action in the first couple of minutes. We see FMB with a little bit of a lead. Level 2 over Kiari, but not going to be able to do much with that other than just get a nice reward.
Pushed a little too fast, actually. Kiari might be able to hit 3 first with the mega advantage. Not sure if he'll be able to get some push off of that. But either way, yeah, I mean, things just going to continue fairly slowly. And I think The biggest thing for Fluxu, again, they have to just be able to survive the early game. I'm actually really impressed with how Trigo and Scamber are playing out this 2v2 to get some push for themselves. Brunsey down some creeps at this point. But the biggest thing is around that 15, 25-minute mark. That's when Fluxu can really start to come online. Their 5v5 is so good if they can get to that uneven footing. Like I said, their composition has a lot to offer.
Hawk, I love these pictures from Twitter. I'm assuming it's Twitter. It's just an @
I think it's. Is this like where everyone's watching the game at?
Yeah. I assume like CBLOL puts out a tweet of like
Jin
reply
mask,
to this
look
with a
at
picture
that.
of where you are. Dude, that Jin mask is really cool actually. I'm so proud of myself. I learned how to do those in VMix last week. I want to find a stream that I'm able to do that in.
Well, there's this great stream that I've heard of that you produce called either CBLOL English or, Tier 3 on NACL2. I don't know. Those are both fun shows.
Dang. Thanks for the shout out, Hawk. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So well produced by both Rare Adam and Camcom, who, oh my god, do they happen to be in the call with me? That's crazy.
Yippee!
Hey, junglers are on the bottom side now. They both reset. Double crab
What's
over the
happening on
Nocturne.
the map, Hawk?
I feel pretty good.
Thank you. It was a double scuttle for Shinny, by the way. Very cool. Love that. I don't think there was a triple buff, though, so at least he
True.
just gets to play the game a little bit more than he did last game.
Yeah, I'm not honestly expecting too much early action out of these junglers. I think these lanes relatively non-volatile this game. And slow farming game, gonna be the name. Shinny obviously wants to hit level 6 as fast as possible. Aegis, honestly, too, like that's where so much of the playmaking of the Sejuani comes through, but obviously the Paranoia, one of the strongest ultimates in the entire game, bar none. You want that online ASAP.
Absolutely. Honestly, both of the jungler ults here, right, are super, super powerful. I think Nocturne maybe a little bit more than the Sejuani for obvious reasons, but still absolutely need Aegis to get that. Ooh, oh my gosh. Realmhold and Sejuani are the same name in my head. I'm sorry, which one? It's Glacial Fissure and Glacial Prison. Right?
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it.
Oh my gosh.
10 out of 10. Play-by-play
So
caster
facts,
cam right
guys.
there.
Let's go. No, but then what's Lysander ult? Because Lysander ult's like the same exact thing.
That is Glacial Tomb. So there's Glacial Fissure,
God,
Glacial
okay.
Prison, and Glacial Tomb. Okay, Dragon's been started. Shinny, he's up a level. Aegis a little bit low, though.
Ooh.
Red spot lane
That was
here
a
first.
really, really clean spell shield, but unfortunately he did walk in 1v4 against the opposing team. First blood picked up for Bronze. Bot side here for Fluxo, just a little bit late. 400 left on the smite does end up going in the favor of Aegis, of course, Fu also a little bit late. Shinny was there. Absolutely perfect time, absolutely perfect on the spell shield, but just did not have any other members of his team there to help him.
Yeah, Shinny saw he was up a level and had a health bar lead and is like, oh my god, win conditions activated. Time to make a play. Unfortunately for him, Aegis was up teammates and Shinny not able to get away. I mean, the re-engage here is completely ill-advised. The spell shield was fine. Might have been dead anyway to the Deadly Flourish. Honestly, Brunsey was nailing that one, but just Flash Brother instead gives away his life, gives away a dragon, and as I, similar struggles to the last game, giving away kills, giving away early objectives. At the very least, early game struggles were more expected for Fluxu with this composition, but Cam, you still don't want to see it.
This is also a much earlier first dragon. It's a 5-minute earlier first dragon that we see now picked up for Red in this game too, hinting to a much faster early game snowball I think that they are trying to play for, especially after, I'm assuming, a massive confidence boost after game 1. They're looking from game 1 like a 10,000 goldie, like, all right, guys, we can be a little bit more chill. I think game 2, we can play a little bit more aggressive, even with a more disengaged comp that they've actually drafted.
So
and with
I
that
will
Frosty
say,
looking for a gank here in the mid lane. Shinny just popped level 6. Paranoia is available.
Yeah.
Aegis notably still level 5.
Shinny actually got a neutral objective in this series. He got all 3 Void Grubs. We are so up. Traded for
Let's
the
go.
dragon, and it gave the level 6. Aegis yet to get there. Maybe they can make a play on bottom side. This wave pushing away from Brunsey. I think Aegis is going to get called down to cover on this because they should know that the Nocturne is approaching that big power spike.
Yeah, and the level 6 was just cleared now for Aegis. That was the window. Shinny had a 30-second XP window. Pretty massive, honestly, over Aegis, even with taking a neutral objective as well. And with that, he did absolutely nothing. A little bit unfortunate if you are a Fluxo fan, Shinny just kind of trying to clear his jungle right now. He's got the advantage. He needs to be playing with that, especially on the bot side, where you saw just how far up Bronze and Frosty were pushed up for really the first time in this game. Most of the series, the red bot side has been playing super safe under the turret, and now they finally have a push.
And I will say the lane's going pretty well so far for Fluxo across the board. Trigo up a decent amount of CS actually in bottom lane. And everybody else even. I expected the range advantage for Grevthar to be more of an issue, but Fu playing that one out exceptionally well. The Yone, a little bit more of a scaling pick into the Gnar. I'll give FNB that. So credit to Kiari for keeping things even up to this point. Aegis is still lurking around the bottom side here. Trigo and Scamper playing far forward. Even Grevthar getting called down. Shinny has abandoned the bottom side of the map after taking the reset, so there is a lot of danger looming in Trigo and Scamper's future, potentially.
Yeah, I think Red just have absolutely no idea where Shinny is, and they're trying to get their bot lane to be able to crash this wave, which at this point is definitely not going to happen. So they were like, all right, bring Grevthar, bring Aegis. We're going to keep our bot lane alive with just absolutely no idea where Shinny is. And unfortunately, they predicted him a little bit wrong, where he did end up going to the top side. So did end up wasting Aegis quite a bit of time. He is still, I'm going to say, significantly behind in CS as well as XP over Shinny.
Yeah. I mean, Shinny's playing really well. He's just been power farming the entire game. Aegis has been looking for those plays. The timing, unfortunately, is just not quite there for Red. I like the idea, wave pushing away. Shinny's taking a reset, but as you say, lack of information on enemy jungler, and also the wave just didn't push away from Trico and Scamper fast enough to make going for it worth Aegis' time. No sunk cost fallacy from the Sejuani this time around. I also do want to inform the audience, by the way, I have been ratioed by Rare Adam in Discord chat. Apparently, it's not Glacial Tomb, it is Frozen Tomb for Lissandra, so my bad, guys. 2 for 3 on my end.
I can't believe you.
I know, I lied. I just lied.
We got a liar on the cast, guys. Can we get another ratio real quick? Yeah, thank you. Ratio on Kiara for calling too quick for the top lane. Thank you.
Look at him get out of there. Little Yordle. Up 6 gold. That's a massive gold advantage. Oh, it's gone.
Hey, got a 2 gold advantage in the mid lane. Oh, never mind. Back to 100.
What was Grevthar up 2? That's amazing.
No, Fu was up 2.
Oh, Fu was up 2. Oh, two Fu man 2. That's in my new mustache.
Man, can I get a new co-caster?
Cam, it's a slow early game. We're 10.5 minutes in and I've only had 1 first blood. Okay, what am I supposed to talk about?
We got League of Legends on our screen, man. I don't know. We got Grubbies in 30.
Oh, do we have a scuffle? An altercation.
What's gonna happen on my screen? Please.
No, they all walked away. Come on, fight each other. Oh my goodness. I mean, I did say, was not expecting a ton of early action. We're still waiting with bated breath.
Why'd you say that?
As to, because I'm trying to be right.
I can't believe you. Okay, you know what? Paranoia did actually just save Trigo's life. That was very nice to see. Brown say excellent use of the cleanse. Flashing away as well with the might have just put Shinny straight into the grave. Here comes the curtain call. 1-2, landed it on to Trigo. One that lasts, one misses on Shinny. Does let him walk away to safety, but every single summoner has been burned on the bot lane, and the dragon is still alive, and he only got 1 jungler there, so will now be yet another dragon. I think every single dragon in this series, Hawk, has gone in the favor of Red.
You would be correct, as that was just a really well-played fight from the Red Kinnets. Okay, they do have to take a reset. They're fearing their health bars being a little bit too low, so Fluxo maybe gonna have the potential to fight for this, but it doesn't change the fact that look at how Red plays this. Trigo gets found out by the Rel. This is not a great face check. And again, the confidence from Frosty to go for the engage is beautiful. Shinny, we were waiting for the first Paranoia. The usage of it is good. It denies a lot of the follow-up on a Trigo, but Brunsey, good cleanse, good flash away. And then, just like my college experience, 3 of 4 is still a passing grade. 75% C's get degrees. Unfortunately, misses the kill on Shinny, but still gets Trigo.
Now, 3 or 4 on Grubbies is not passing. You do need at least all 3 of these to deny the Grub babies from Fluxo here. Shinny is in the right position. I think the Paranoia just came off the cooldown, but no flash available does mean Shinny will let the Grubs go to Red, which means nobody gets any babies this game. However, the dragon is still alive. So the fight is not over yet, Hawk. In fact, we're probably going to get almost an identical fight here in about 30 seconds.
Yeah, 3 Grubs traded for each team. I think the Professor might need to curve the grade a little bit because that is unfortunately not passing for either one. it be what it be. Red still just trying to control the river. I really like the way they transition their priority up towards the Void Grubs without really losing much in bottom side. I have no idea what Fluxu was doing during that time, actually. I'm quite curious. They did get a plate in bottom, it looks like, off of the rotation, but Red was just able to take a free neutral objective without even sacrificing control over bottom side river.
Yeah, I think Shinny has gotten himself a little bit stuck in the mindset of farm. He watched a little bit too many Shapeshift Patreon videos, I think, and has just been practicing way too much on the Nocturne farm, and now has forgotten neutral objectives might exist in League of Legends. And unfortunately, in a professional game, that is a little bit important.
A little bit. Hey, he tried to fight for the first dragon.
On his own, though. You know,
I didn't say whether or not it was a good decision. I just said he tried to.
He forgot he has a team.
Yeah, Shinny, I mean, honestly, he's just been struggling a little bit in the series. I feel like to have the same early game swagger that we saw at the beginning of the split. They're onto it now, though. Paranoia, second one of the game, is up, and I do think with the river control finally being reclaimed by Fluxu, they will take another neutral objective. No steal from the Deadly Flourish. And I will give Fluxu a lot of credit. You know, we're joking about the lack of proactivity and things like that, but Red only has a 600 gold lead, and we mentioned they, being Fluxu, have a very solid team fight composition. Very difficult to break through, a lot of disengage and counter initiation that is going to make Red's life difficult. So Red, again, not the most explosive early game team either, who typically wins off of their just superior mid-late game decision making. They are going to have to actually play well. They can't just compositionally diff Fluxu.
Guess what? That was the first objective, or the first dragon Fluxu has taken all series. Let's go!
Big?
It
okay,
only took them
Paranoia.
about 40 minutes of game time, and they're almost about to get another kill in the bot lane here. Grefthar still holding on to his flash, trying to get it over to the turret. I can't actually see. Yes, he did end up using the flash, unfortunately. Still ended up falling. Cross-map play on the other side, though. You got Frosty and Aegis looking for a gank onto Kiari. He made it out just in time. First tower was taken. Not yet, actually. Okay, I was about to say, first tower was taken in the bot lane, and it finally was. So first tower gold also going to be in the favor of Fluxo. Hawk, this is a significantly better early game than we have seen from Fluxo game 2 compared to game 1.
Exactly, and the first proactive Paranoia from Shinny was a good one. They get the kill on the Grefthar, they get the flash off the Ziggs as well. First tower completely closes the gold gap, even though Red at the very least is able to equalize in the turrets. You take that one if you're Fluxu, and rightfully, as you said, the game state is completely comfortable for them as long as they can execute in the 5v5s, which of course does remain to be seen. They are in a position to equalize this series.
Yeah, this game is definitely going to come down much more to communication and teamwork than I think games usually would, just because of how evenly matched the team comps are just from draft. But especially now at the 15 minutes, we are still exactly even on gold across the board, even like less than 1,000 gold between any member. Even the supports are less than 200 between the two of them. We have got a dead even game state at the 20 or 15-minute mark, almost the 20-minute mark here. We've got one more dragon in about 3 minutes. I don't think this is going to be a super crucial team fight, so I would like to see the teams maybe wait a little bit on some of those more important cooldowns. As I am expecting, I'm going to go on a limb here and say we're probably going to get another 20-minute Baron Hawk.
We very well could. A little bit of just jockeying for position at the moment. I mean, Fluxu, I like this. They have 5 members committed down towards the bottom side. They know that they are very strong in the 5v5 scenarios at this point. First items on everybody. Their composition is starting to come online. The problem, though, is that Red's side laning is doing the same. We're getting to the point in the game where FNB up 1.1k individually, actually, over Kiari with the turret goal that he got, as well as a 25 CS lead. He's going to start outscaling the Gnar, and likewise, Grefthar, his turret-taking ability cannot be understated. So, Fluxu, they need to start being able to force 5v5 situations. Otherwise, Red will potentially be able to 1-3-1 them to death.
We'll have to wait and see. I think the 1-3-1, like you said, is definitely significantly stronger here for Red, but hopefully the communication, again, will also have to be there to make it happen. We've got 90 seconds left on the Dragon. Previously was Fluxo with all the bot side pressure, as you mentioned, but now it has fully gone back into the favor of Red.
Oh, Trigo.
5-member strong Frosty flash over the wall. Massive Mana Storm immediately eliminating the bot lane of Fluxo. TP coming in from Fu, but it is just way too late. He TPs in to watch his bot lane die and watch the mid lane die. or mid lane tower die even, and that's it. That's the team fight. That's the 2,000 gold lead that just comes out of nowhere in the favor of red.
I mean, Frosty is out of control this series. Come on, flashing over the Raptor pit to find them both. Trigo makes a mistake getting hit by the Deadly Flourish, but I'm going to be honest, I think he was dead no matter what. A beautiful collapse from Red gets them the most important turret of the game, as well as the gold lead. I think the bigger thing, though, is taking that mid lane tower before the dragon spawns. Now Kiari caught out in the side, trying to trade something back. Bad going to worse.
Yeah, Kiari's got no tower to run back to, no safety. The Meganar was perfectly timed, but it can only be timed so long, and it did end up running out. And once that runs out, I mean, there's just not a lot Mininar can do in a 1v3, right? You now have a 150 gold bounty on FMB, literally from CS. He's sitting at about 12 CS a minute right now, which is kind of crazy, honestly.
Bro's chovying.
Yeah,
and he's not even mid.
Most CS in the game, only to Fu. Which makes sense
because
also obviously CS is really well.
Yeah, impressive CS from some of the solo laners in this game, but we've also seen this a couple times this series from Fluxu of overstaying after bad plays, hitting turrets.
Yep.
It was Trigo last game getting caught on mid on the Ezreal. Then Kiari, like, I get it. Getting top tower damage is good. Dying for it is not, and giving over another one. Red, even though they're late to the dragon setup, it doesn't matter because of that mid tower we mentioned that they took. They always can get mid priority easier than Fluxu. Retake control over this area. They don't even have to feel pressured to start it. They can wait for their cooldowns to come back up. They've got FNB pushing in bottom with the Herald. I mean, everything right now in their game state is absolutely tremendous. Shelly does need a little help to get in there.
Yeah, just look at this bot side prio. I love the observer showing us as well the control and the suffocation that Red are putting on Flexo around the bot side dragon play, where
they can go for 2 towers here.
Yeah, Red has got all of the vision on the bot side. Flexo absolutely cannot walk through the jungle right now without binoculars on, basically. They've got blindfolds on. They got to take those off and put binoculars on to be able to do anything. In the bot side jungle, 2 towers taken by Shelly. Again, this gold lead is just going to continue snowballing out of control now in the favor of Red off of, again, one play in the mid lane, one small mistake by the bot lane Trigo and Scamber, and one giant leap from Frosty.
Yeah, giant leap indeed, a sick engage, and man, you cannot outpush a Ziggs and a Rift Herald. Red mashing down those turrets. They're going to go up 2 dragons to 1. 3,000 gold now is the advantage, but I think the bigger thing to me is the map control. Having 4 turrets, it's going to be so easy to put down wards in Fluxu's jungle. And we mentioned in the draft the pick part of the composition that Red does have. The more map control they have, the darker and scarier things get for Fluxu. With no true tank, it becomes that much easier for Red to snap the trap shut.
Now, Fluxo also has a lot of pick potential here. They've got the Ashel, they've got the Nocturnal, and they've got Azir and Meganar damage in theory as well to follow up on that. But we've really yet to see any impactful Ashels. Yes, they've been landing in team fights when it's melee range, but none actually like cross-map that get a solo kill or something like that can truly get a pick and then a team fight lead for Fluxo. That is, I think, probably the main way that Fluxo can come back in this game. They need to land the Ashe and the Nocturne combo and then get some sort of pick kill off of that. We see the gold on the left. You got FNB at the top. Again, that's why he's got the CS or the bounty on his head right now with no kills. He's got 250 CS right now. That is just ridiculous. Aegis. Oh no, Aegis? Aegis should be fine actually. Maybe not.
Not with the Ashe arrow.
They did it. They did the thing. Look at that. They got the flash as well. They got the everything out of Aegis. Grifter even knocked up as well. The Nocturne plus Ashel, I talked about it 30 seconds ago. You landed onto even the biggest tank on the team. And you do get 1 kill. I was very worried that Fluxo was about to lose Scamber there. But no, it's all right. They got the 1 pick, and they do escape in the end.
Yeah, Scamber saving the Unbreakable for the 4th shot. It blocks all of the damage from the first projectile that hits it. So intelligent stuff right there as Frosty is... What is he doing?
Frosty, what are we doing here, bud?
That's a big flash force. I mean, he gets away, but... We saw some of the flash engages from this Rel earlier on in the game, getting Red their advantage. And it's a nice counterpunch from Fluxu. They dropped mid-wave. Oh, I see what he was doing. Frosty was trying to delay the backs to give Red the window to do the Baron. I don't think they do this fast enough, though.
Yeah,
okay.
no, Jin is not a Baron taken champion. I'm sorry. It would have been an excellent. I agree. No, that was an excellent idea there for Red.
It was
Sacrifice
spicy.
Frosty on
It
the
was
bot
spicy.
side, but you need a different AD carry champion, I think, to make that one work. Unfortunately, Scammer though, it's gonna be face checking straight into Bronze and FMB. Maybe it was all not for nothing.
Good
you got
follow.
One more pick now. There goes your engage. Yeah, he even put in the flash for that, by the way, for Scamper. So you got no flash and no support for the next 20 seconds, and with that, you got a 23-minute Baron now. I said 20-minute, but I will take a 23-minute for Fred.
And this is looking tough again for Fluxu. That was a really well played fight. FNB having a great series. Hit that share on the Ziggs, but look at the Hex Flash.
Oh, there goes Frosty yet again. These Magnet Storms have been on point this game, and even last game as well. With the Khan, totally different champion, but similar story. Fu, I cannot believe he lived that, but still, it got one more kill. So 2 kills plus a Baron in the pockets of all 5 members of Red, and they just get to walk down mid lane with the purple cloaks.
And Red simply playing faster than Fluxu. A pick in bot lane seems like such a far cry from what is now happening. Baron push as Fluxu got forced out. A beautiful turn. Frosty apparently not even needing the flash to find another great engage. It's going to be 2 towers dropping. The Ziggs does so much damage to him. The map completely opened up. Cam, we're already up to plus 3.8 thousand on the Baron power play. We can take another look at this. I mean, that ward just blocking everything out. The control ward means that Frosty's unseen. And, I mean, Fluxu was late to the Baron anyway. They were never going to get the objective, so giving over a kill to boot, definitely not what you like to see.
Absolutely not. And again, they are so lucky that it wasn't 2 more kills. Fu literally living on 1 HP off the back of that Baron. Like, that should have been, by all rights, another kill for Red. So Fluxo, if anything, should be happy it was only 2 kills. We do have 45 seconds left on it says Ocean. Yeah, Ocean Soul Point. I was confused for a second because there was already an Ocean Dragon. But no, it is Ocean Soul Point now on
Because
the table
Fluxu
for
took
Red
a
here.
dragon! That's why.
I know. I was so confused. I was like, wait a minute. Fluxu took a Hextech Dragon. Where did that come from?
Unfortunately, I don't think that Hextech Dragon is going to be enough to save them. Fu can take a tier 2 tower here, but FNB maybe lurking for a solo kill, and I think the real story is the push in mid. The siege on Red, not exactly the best, but the Jhin can function quite well. And of course, if Ziggs is able to join up with the team, that's when things really get good.
Or the team joins up with Ziggs. I mean, you don't even need the Ziggs
Goodbye,
to go anywhere.
tower.
As long as he's got the Baron and he's got the W on the tower, those turrets will melt if you've got Gravathor anywhere in the vicinity. 5 members all of a sudden knocking on inhibitor doors at 25 minutes. Yet again, these games are so quick by Red, and they're not even drafting particularly early game team comp. Shinny, meanwhile, here in the mid lane, again, the wave, I think more so just taking away Red's wave rather than trying to get any true tower damage. But you got the dragon now, and no hope to be able to truly contest it for Fluxo.
Yeah, that one's going to be gone. Fluxu looking like it's going to be a match point against them. I mean, they're quote-unquote only down 5,500 gold. It's not some ridiculous 10,000 gold lead like we saw at this point last game. Actually, it might have been over at this point last game. I'm actually not.
Think so.
It was pretty close. Yeah. So, hey, it is at least going better. Only a plus 2.3k Baron power play. Unfortunately, they lost an inhibitor. Their base has been broken. Everybody on Red is getting quite close to 3 items. FNB's already there. Nearly 300 CS at 26.5 minutes is absolutely illegal. That is insane. Shout out Fu for farming very well. In addition, he was second on the gold chart for a while there, which was very cool, even when Red was ahead a couple K. But, I mean, once Ziggs gets a Rabadons and Brunsey gets a, I'm assuming, Lord Dominix here, yeah, this game is looking pretty cooked.
And as well as, right, like you mentioned them taking an inhibitor. They took the bot lane inhibitor, which is basically the best inhibitor to take at this stage of the game, where you got the inhibitor down for 3.5 more minutes. You got the Baron, on the top side coming up in 2. So you're assuming that Fu or Kiari is going to be one of the 2 members on the bot side. They both have teleport up for now, but if Red pull the trigger here in the mid lane, it's going to be Fu forced to, he's recalling now, I was going to say forced to TP here in the mid lane in case anything else happens. But one of them is going to be forced to TP no matter what.
They don't even need Baron.
On the Baron, yeah, it's 2 minutes if they even need to take it yet again. Kiari, really nice dash away from the Fates sealed. There goes the curtain call as well in, and everything on Scamper. He didn't have the shield up for that one, but did end up surviving it just barely enough to keep himself alive. They've gotten 2 inhibitors taken now. We're looking for the third one on the top side. Red playing for the perfect game here on all these objectives they've taken.
Yeah, I lied through my teeth when I said Red Siege isn't that great. I forgot about the Ziggs. I mean, they don't even need Baron to push in. They have such long range as well, as we highlighted in the draft. And Kiari and Scamber, neither of them being true tanks, makes it so difficult. They did find Grefthar, though.
Paranoia comes out, but I don't think Shinny was actually in range to get anyone out. He goes in, but it's all on his own. He's looking for a 1v1 against Grefthar, and he can't even win it. He goes down for absolutely no reason. And now for 40 seconds, Red get free control on the map. Baron is going to be spawning 10 seconds after the jungler comes back. That's just a free Baron. Might as well be a free Nexus turret as well if they really want to push that far for Red.
How about a free Nexus? I'm not sure Fluxu is going to be able to defend their base here. FNB's in. Kiari forced away. They might keep pushing here, Cam.
Yeah, next up under fire, you've got all of the waves perfectly synced in all 3 waves as well. I think that is what Red was really waiting for. FNB flashing in underneath the Nexus turrets. I mean, what can Fluxo even do? Red are coming out on the series so strong, so confident. This is what you want to see from a playoff team here in CBLOL.
Not going to end the game just yet, though. FNB getting interrupted. Kiari's going Mega, forced to Fate Seal away. Red will get away with everybody, though. Look, I saw the angle from Shinny, right? It's a glass cannon Ziggs. You're a Nocturne. You're supposed to be able to kill those guys. Unfortunately, wallet diff is real, and Shinny once again forgetting.
1v5 is real too.
Yeah, I was about to say once again forgetting that you might have all of the fight conditions in your favor, and yet power of friendship trumps all. Fluxu doing what me and my solo queue teammates call running it down Baron, just going for broke to try to get this game. But FNB, he's going for the base.
Your base, guys. Hey, Baron is not going to be more important than your Nexus here in a minute. Yon is not a slow split pusher by any means. Kiari recalled. Baron somehow...
They didn't get the Baron!
What is happening on the top side? But it's not going to matter at all. FNB even taking a shot from the Nexus just to put the end of the story to Fluxo's base. The rest of the team fight doesn't even matter. FNB's got the Baron.
So many minions!
The super minions. What is even happening up there? Nobody knows. Nobody cares. But Red is going to be 2-0 up on the day over Fluxo.
Okay, I mean, a goofy ending to a goofy game, but I mean, at that point, Fluxu knew it was cooked. Like, if Red gets the Baron with triple inhibitor, you can do exactly what you saw FNB do at the end, which is stand there while Fluxu loses the game because they can't clear the minions in time. So, I mean, they try to go for the Baron. Obviously, it ends up being well, not even a Baron for Nexus trade because
how did Sichuan get the Baron?
The game was over by that point. Red is absolutely on fire, though. Frosty is having a awesome series. The engages have been sick. Everybody on Red is playing well. I mean, FNB farming like 15 CS per minute. Side lane Menace, the own pick, working out very well on R5. And if I'm being honest, Fluxu simply looking outclassed in this series.
15 CS a minute, not even a slight exaggeration. It might honestly be an under-exaggeration, but he was crushing the CS game up in the top side. Yeah, that was absolutely wild from Red. Once again, showing why they went from 8th place something to 3rd place seeds up on the playoff run, looking massive. I think it's a 10-game winning streak now as well.
10.
Yet to look low on any of these games today. Looking to make it 11 after the next game here after a brief break. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to game number 3 for today, the second best of 5 here on the CBLOL Summer Playoff Split. Once again, I am Camcom, joined today by Hawk, and so far we have had Red have a very clear, very clean showing, 2-0 in the best of 5 today against Fluxo.
It has been very clean, very one-sided, and what you want to see if you're a Red Canids fan, with them being one match away from their old nemesis, the Vivo Cade Stars, in the upper bracket. The last team to beat the Red Canids all the way back in June. It has been over a month since they've lost 10 straight wins in a row now, searching for their 11th to send them to the upper bracket spot. Fluxo, they need to reverse sweep just like Loud did yesterday if they want to usurp that position. But I'm going to be honest, Cam, this one has been a little bit more one-sided than Loud Furia was.
Okay, I will take your word for it. Unfortunately, I was not able to catch the tape from yesterday quite yet, but we will wait and see. From our draft here, we have gotten word. Don't know if it's 100% official yet or not, but there may or may not be a sub coming in for Kiari top lane on Flex's side, Hawk. Neither of us have heard of this player before, which is probably not a good sign for them.
Well, okay, I've heard the name because they play at CBLOL Academy. Forlin may or may not be coming in for Kiari. We'll try to confirm that as quickly as possible. But if Forlin is in, this is one of the top laners on Fluxo Academy, 13th place in CBLOL Academy this past split out of 14 teams.
Out of 14.
I have not watched them play. I don't watch the CBLOL Academy too closely. However, I do at least know who they are. I'm not sure what to expect. I think the bigger story, Cam, is regardless of if Kiari or Forlin is playing top lane, I don't think this is going to fix all of Fluxo's problems. And throwing a rookie into the deep end against an on-form FNB in the playoffs sounds like a recipe for potential disaster.
There it is.
But there it is. Forlin is in.
Okay.
We'll see how
Yeah,
they stack
no,
up against one of the greatest to never win it.
This is why I don't like obviously the academy system is great, right? Like we can get players from the academy to the pro scene super quick. But then this goes to show like then the stats come out of like rookies have won 10% of their games that they've I don't know the actual stat on this, right? But like
Rumble.
they come out, oh my god. They come out with these super weak stats for rookie like initial showings, right? And they're like, this is the reason why we should have the veterans always be playing in pro play, right? And it's super stupid because then you look at the actual tape, you look at the actual game, and you're like, you just subbed in a super rookie against FMB peak form on a peak champion right now in the meta. Obviously, it's going to be super difficult. Like, we say this now and then he's going to be showing like 20-0 or something. This is a very fast draft. Okay, the Red knew what they were coming into, apparently, in this Game 3. This is almost an identical draft that they had in Game 2, though. But this time, instead of an R5 Yone, it's a B3 blind pick Yone. So it is a little bit different on that, at least. But,
I mean,
I don't know. What's happening?
Cam, I think Red is getting everything they wanted. First of all, can I get some 07s in the chat for rookie Forlin needing to go against FNB's Rumble? B1 once again. I can't believe Fluxu would give this champion over. The Kennen is a fine matchup into it, but there's a lot of kill pressure both ways. Except the rookie is, I mean, getting completely thrown into the deep end, and then Fluxu has not found an answer for the Sejuani Yone in the series. It was incredibly effective last game. It was Fu's LeBlanc that was answered into it Game 1. I think Fu played the matchup very well, but overall, the game plan fell short. Wouldn't surprise me to see them go back towards it for Fluxu. However, with Red not picking up their ADC, at the very least, they can ban away Bruncey's pool. Kaisa, Ezreal, some of the best answers into this area getting removed. Bruncey will be forced to go down the tier list a little bit.
Historically, Kennen, CBLOL wise, has been probably the best counter to Rumble, I think. Lane dominance wise, at least. But this is a high skill matchup. Like, this is not an easy matchup, especially on the Kennen end. Rumble actually probably has an easier time with this matchup than Kennen, even with Kennen, in theory, coming out ahead in the lane. But it's not an easy matchup again, so we're gonna have to see if
you have the melee versus range. You have a lot of harass. You have a lot of all-in threat. But if you mess up, you are gonna be a roasted Yordle on a spit. Like, it's tough.
And Rumble is such a snowball champion too, right? So if you do mess up that 1 or 2 times a lane, all of a sudden Rumble will come in out lane 3-0 like FMB did Game 1 actually. And then it's just unstoppable with the equalizers. We do have the Rel Comfort Champion at least coming out for Scamper in the bottom lane, as well as the Zeri picked up. So they are going to be playing, again, super similar to Game 1 style, where we're all just running at them for Fluxo, which did not work for them Game 1. I'm super nervous how they're going to be able to play this Game 3. We are not picking Katarina. We are not serious today.
Oh, they should. Why not? They'll probably win anyway. No, that's just
support. It's gonna be Katarina's support.
It's gonna be Jhin Alistar. It's gonna be yep. There it is. Jhin Alistar here for Red. I like Red's draft. I think Fluxu's draft. I mean, depending on what they go here, whether it's LeBlanc, whether it's something else into this Yone. Oh, LeBlanc was banned, so they need to make a pivot. I just feel like Red got everything they wanted. They have an incredibly good pick dive comp with super long range follow up yet again. Rumble, Jhin, Sejuani, all able to answer from a screen away. It's double engage combo for Frosty and Aegis, which we have been seeing all series. They're going to flex the Zeri into mid, so Fu is getting on that hyper carry ADC. We talked about ADCs being the biggest part of his champion pool in Game 1. We've not seen it up till this point, so maybe this is the answer for Fluxu, but I don't know. It just feels like Red is playing what they want.
All right, so, Hawk, I'm going to hit you with some stats here real quick. Not only have they subbed in someone from their academy, Game 3 of a elimination game, literally.
Not elimination.
From their academy team that is already struggling. Not only have they put him on a very high skill matchup in the top lane, they have also now put him as the sole AP carry for their team. Everyone else is only AD on this team right now, unless they're playing AP Zeri. I guess now I'm saying that could be a possibility, so they're not exclusively with an AP in the top, but still don't love that super much. they're telling this rookie, okay, I hope we've scrimmed with you. I hope we have good comms with you because you are going to carry us through the series right now. Which if
Yeah.
Kiari couldn't do it, can the rookie do it?
I think
That's the question.
I think similar to game one, a ton of responsibility on the solo lanes, a ton of responsibility falling on the rookie's shoulders, and Fu needs to be, I think, the big late game hyper carry. But again, no true tank for Fluxu against a lot of dive, a lot of follow-up from Red. It's going to be an incredibly difficult task, but who knows? Sometimes pressure can make a diamond. Forlin,
Okay.
you need to become a
ready. Hit
diamond
me with
and not
it.
a lump of coal.
No pressure at all. Let's throw back to our predictions, our unofficial predictions Hawk and I had at the start of the series. I said very conservatively a 3-2 for Red, and you said a 3-0. How are we thinking on our predictions?
I'm not going to lie to you, Cam. I'm feeling pretty good about mine.
All right, well, I'm going to hope if Forlin can carry this game 3, I think we're going to a game 5. But if he cannot, I think it is also going to be a 3-game series. But
I respect that. Look, and I want to see Forlin succeed. I want to see Fluxu bounce back. I'm not convinced that they can, but Cam, stranger things have happened here in the CBLOL.
absolutely.
You just never quite know. That is why it's the greatest region in the world. Fluxu, the time is now. If you want your upper bracket run to continue, if you want to maintain a second life in the quest for the final CBLOL championship and a shot at the world stage, now is the time.
Hawk, I have quite possibly never seen as much pressure put onto a rookie as I have in this game right here with Forlin. This is crazy. I'm going to stop talking about it now, or I'm just going to talk about it the whole game. I hope and pray to God Forlin just plays out of his absolute mind this game. I'm going to be extremely excited to see how well he can pull off this Kennen Rumble matchup into the top lane. Meanwhile, here in the mid lane, it does look like Fu is in fact not going for the AP Zeri bid. So again, it is going to be exclusively Kennen doing the AP damage for the top side here on the Fluxo team comp.
Yeah, Fu, though, he will still be a massive damage carry threat later on. Also got a ward kill, so he should hit level 2 to help him coast through the lane against Grevthar. And I do think this is the biggest shakeup, putting Fu on a major AD carry that is going to be massive in the team fights. I think that can be the answer for Fluxu. Again, nothing is guaranteed. I think it's going to be difficult against the composition that Red has drafted with just a lot of threats on it that these AD carries must manage. But Zeri, notoriously incredibly slippery. Maybe there's a world.
Hopefully bring us to a game 4, Fluxo. I believe in you, and I believe in Forlin to make it happen here. Fu getting a really nice level 2, like you did mention. He got level 2 off of the ward kill, so he got a full wave early because usually mid lane you get a level 2 off of the first melee on the second. So the fact that he didn't actually need to kill the first melee on the second means he got a full 20 to 30 second lead on that level 2 over Grevthar, which does make that level 3 spike that much easier. Meanwhile, down here in the bot lane, the Fluxo side is also having a little bit of an easier time, but Aegis will be the first gank to come out on the bot lane, as well as having that level 3 spike flash. 4 coming out from Frost. He's got the ignite taken down, but it's only a level 2 ignite. One more auto connects. It's a first blood picked up for Scamper, but he does end up giving his life back over to Aegis for his kill.
Ends up being a lot of time committed for Red, only to go 1 for 1. At the very least, the wave in a very good position for Red. And obviously, jungler getting the kill better than the support, but it is still only a tank. I think you take that one if you are Fluxu, as now Aegis wanting to do an invade towards Shinny, just putting down a ward. Knows that the Vi is probably on the side of the map, but not quite sure where and might be caught out.
Aegis still holding onto his flash. Fu as well, also in a good position to walk down from mid lane, just in case. Forlin holding onto his flash as well, taking down to 50% of his HP. FNB forced to burn the burn quite early, though, and Forlin actually getting a good trade back into his favor for now, at least. One more auto from FNB, almost taking down Forlin, though, and yeah, Forlin going to be forced to recall and burn that teleport a little bit earlier than he may have preferred to.
And I mean, Cam, already FNB opening up a CS advantage over this Kennen in what is supposed to be a favorable, stable matchup for the Kennen when the Rumble's not able to find the all-ins. So, a little bit concerning for the rookie. Hopefully able to get going a little bit more, because as you mentioned, this Kennen falls behind. Things going to be very difficult for Fluxu from a damage share perspective. But One thing I do want to see, Fu doing another great job of controlling in the mid wave, has health bar advantage over Grevthar with Shinny coming over. I want to see them be able to play more proactively
Grevthar?
around this mid lane. I want to see them control the
Oh
map
no.
better with mid lane prio.
Oh no, Shinny played that gank like he had a level 6 and he just didn't. So Grevthar, I mean, they still got the flash from him at least. So Shinny will be able to make that same play when he is actually level 6, but just I think a little bit of a micro misstep there from
Yeah.
Shinny as your jungler. Meanwhile, down here in the bot lane, Scamber and Trico playing real low with these HP bars. Scamber, and no mana. Trico as well, maybe mana for 1 or 2 abilities. Having a rough time down here as Fluxo.
Yeah, I wonder if Shinny could have gone for the Q flash to extend the play on a Grevthar, but ultimately still, getting the flash off the Yone is big. We saw how they punished it in game 1. I want to continue to see that. That is the right idea from Fluxo. With the mid prio that Fu is generating, use it to start controlling the map. Try to make plays. Apply pressure to Red, because I think the biggest problem in the series for Fluxo has been that Red has just been able to free scale pretty easily in both games and then out-execute in the 5v5. Fluxo, while they do have a solid 5v5 composition, I don't want to see them just handshake the early game with Red. I want to see them try to open up some sort of advantage.
Now, I am pretty sure, as far as I know, that this is Forlan's CBLOL main stage debut, right? I don't believe we have seen this player play on the main stage.
You would be correct. He's a rookie this year, by the way. That's worth noting. This was his first year in Academy. Yeah.
First year in Academy, first game here on the CBLOL main stage, and yes, he's down in CS. Yes, he has suffered a little bit in trading, but you know what? He hasn't died yet. He has held the matchup, and he has held the tower quite well on the top side. We're going to give credit where credit is due. Definitely could have been far worse from a first game main stage rookie here on the CBLOL, and I mean, yes, FME is about 20 CS ahead of him right now, but it could definitely be worse. Trico, a little bit of CS trade, or health trade even down here in the bot lane. Floor shot does connect onto Trico. You've got Shinny, meanwhile, taking the first dragon of the game. He's kind of hovering the bot side, but I think he might need to come help his bot lane out in this trade. Ooh, really nice dash there from Frosty. Just able to get away from Trico's ult in time, but Grevthar now walking down. He's got that level 6. He's got his ult available as well as the flash. Really nice double knockup landing. Scammer going back in for the re-engage, but it's only to buy himself an extra second. Fourth shot lands. Bronzy picking up the first kill. There's the
he's one shot
Grevthar as well, but it means absolutely nothing. Trico can only stand there and auto that he will. He picks up 1 kill back onto Grevthar, but it's a double kill for Bronze, and in the end, the dragon does go in the favor of Red, as everything else on the map does.
Bronzy has the curtain call. Can maybe try to find Trigo. Here we go. 1, 2. And Trigo's going to be out. Bronzy has a flash.
Oh, no.
And Bronzy.
Look at the player cam. Oh, my gosh.
The pop-off coming through. The Red fans know that was a 4-for-1 cam. An overwhelming fight win for Red Canadians. Well, all that was happening, by the way, 2 Void Grubs were taken, so beautifully highlighted by the CBLOL observers, as Fu tried to get in there, got 1 shot, and Red is rolling already.
Meanwhile, down here in the mid, it is not over yet. Scamber cut out, still only level 5. No magnets available, as well as Frosty, by the way, still level 5 on the Aloystar, but that might mean a little bit less with how far ahead this team is. Shinny lives! Shinny lives with 11 HP. What is this game? What is this series, Manhog? This is CBLOL.
I mean, Fluxo trying to continue playing through the mid lane, but, I mean, Red was there in time as Forling getting absolutely dumpstered in this top matchup. I mean,
calm down. It's okay. No.
He's down 20 CS at 10 minutes.
He's down 30 CS. It's okay, though.
It's rough. But let's take another look at this fight. Grevthar with a beautiful Fate Seal to get things started. Scamber tries to create space for the team. It gets blasted. Here, you think Fu might be able to do the AoEs. There, he does so much of it, but the chain CC is brilliant. And even though Grevthar ultimately dies, lived for way longer than he had any business, Bronzy even able to find the rundown on a Trigo to add a 4th kill into the play. Now on a killing spree with this Jhin. Incredibly good fight for Red. The plates following in top. I mean, Cam, this series is looking all but over. It's not even the slow early games that we're typically accustomed to here in Red. They're going to keep the pace up. The rookie now in their sights.
Leave the rookie alone, man. They're tower diving the rookie. He's only level 8 on the cannon. He popped, oh no, I forgot the name. Slicing Maelstrom on the cannon.
Nailed it.
Let's
Easy money.
go.
Easy money.
Easy money. Unfortunately,
Hey.
not going to be easy money for Forlin, though.
Forlin, though, he's down basically the same CS as the super veteran Grevthar is. So, hey, he's
Hell
just
yeah.
taking after his idols. Unfortunately, Grevthar has 4 assists to his name. Forlin, not quite there. I mean, yeah, like Red, normally a slow early game team, right? And then just better mid-late game decision-making, fight selection, and macro. That's why they've won 10 straight. This game, they're off to the races. 2K gold lead at 10 minutes. They've got a 3-kill Jhin down on the bottom side. FNB already up 1.2 thousand individually. I mean, this is Red well on their way to a sweep.
All right, but look at the items right now. The honor is completed for both of the top laners. Forlin is actually the first person on Fluxo to complete his full item. Yes, he's
That's
down
a haunting,
merchants.
guys. That's a haunting, guys.
Is it? Okay, well then, it literally looks like Leander's.
A little bit,
Did they change it? They must have changed it. I don't remember.
I mean, they brought that item back just this season, the haunting guys, as a component, and it has a new icon.
I'm very sad. I was so proud of him. I was like, let's go, Forlin. You got the first item on the team, but now I'm sad again.
Leandry's may be OP, but it is not so OP that you can get it that fast.
I was proud of him, you know? Okay, he's down 40 CS now. The CS lead keeps growing for FNB.
Like,
He's
and
almost
you,
double his CS.
it is important. Like, you know, Forlin is put in a very difficult situation, right? Like, I mean, in this matchup, not an elimination game, but, you know, series decider, right? On the verge of a sweep against one of the best top laners in the CBLOL, who is playing on form, no less, as not only a rookie, obviously, to the CBLOL stage, but a rookie overall. Like, it's a tough spot, and I understand the difficulties that Forlin may be having.
Let's go. Oh
FNB
no,
wins.
Shinny's just burning. Shinny, don't burn. You gotta get Forlin the kill. No. He lives. I can't believe everyone lived that. I thought for sure Forlin or FNB was gonna be the one that died there. But everyone lives with 1 HP. Let's see if Fu can meet the same fate. A little bit, about 25% of his mana remaining, just about able to dash away from Aegis in time. And yeah, Red, you were talking about all gas, no breaks game 1. This is all gas, no breaks game 3 right now for Red. They're playing this map so clean. Now 2,500 gold lead, more than they even had in game 1. Now spawned for them in game 3.
Yeah, I mean, that's 3 turret plates, I want to say, mined off of that bottom lane tower for Brunsey. He's now getting really fed. FNB played the top gank well. Forlin and Shinny, unfortunately, just not quite able to layer their CC. The Rumble was able to flash away and even almost turn it around onto the Vi, forcing the flash in trade. And Void Grubs spawning at 35. Second Dragon on the map. Red already on to it. As Forlin, he's going to face check a Rumble.
Face checking the Rumble, also down a level 2 at the Rumble right now. Does end up walking away from it alive, but the dragon on the bot side does not. Meanwhile, Aegis take the second dragon in a row now. Fluxo have taken 1 dragon this whole series. We cannot say that they have lost every dragon, but they have taken 1, and it was a Hextech dragon last game. Now it is a Hextech soul this game, so maybe that spells well for them. Taking the next dragon or 2, but meanwhile up here on the top side, FNB might just get all of the plates. He's gonna get at least 4 plates before they fall in about 60 seconds here, but yeah, massive gold lead, about almost 1,500 for FNB. Bronze as well, quietly down there in the bot lane. Yes, he has 3 kills, but also almost a 2,000 gold lead over Trigo. Very scary stuff here on the side lanes for Red.
And Red getting even more Void Grubs, by the way, as Aegis onto that second spawn. That's going to help FNB on that tower even more. Red even can collapse to defend the dive in bottom.
Earn Call comes out again. Massive fate sealed from Grevthar. He's been on top of them this series so far. Food trying to get the plates. He's not even going for any kills, man. He knows the kills are in vain. Let's just get some plates. We're going to scale up maybe eventually. Meanwhile, here on the top side, Aegis is like, oh yeah, you guys are fighting. I got the dragon. I got the Rift Shield. I got all 6 scrubs, by the way, for Red. Aegis is ignoring the map and just getting all the objectives.
And, I mean, Cam, let's remember, this is the second day of CBLOL playoffs. In the playoffs, Red is making Fluxu look like this. I think this speaks to how good Red has been. I mean, truly, they have really come into their own. A team with great expectations. Terrible start to the split. And They have come alive on the back end of things here, well on their way to their 11th straight. And I mean, they are itching, chomping at the bit, I'm sure, to be able to play Cade Stars next week, because when they are on this kind of form, they are looking like they can beat anybody.
Absolutely. After so many Pain versus Loud finals, as much as I am a Loud fan myself, would love to see a Loud versus Red finals. I think that would be very fun to see. But meanwhile, we've got a little bit of a scuffle around
5 members here.
Riftchild here. Aegis, unfortunately, not quite in time to finish it after the last fight, as he is a Sejuani, which does take these Riftchilds quite slowly. And instead, now we get a fight around the Riftchild itself. Shani, or Forlane, sorry, has good angle over the wall, but unfortunately no vision in the pit. Does mean he's not going to be blindly flashing in with the Slicing Maelstrom.
Yeah, Fluxu wanted to contest that Herald, but they know they can't 5v5. If you engage into red, it is almost certain to get turned around on top of you. So they wisely back away, but it does nothing to dent this 4,000 gold advantage. Red, 6 Void Grubs can summon up the Herald. This mid tower, not long for this world, as Fluxu, already having gone for the reset, can be their second of the game, continuing to open up the map in their favor.
Looking like the Riftchild might even get a hit on the inner turret as well. Curtain Call, as well as the, oh no, Glacial Prison.
Easy.
End up missing. Let's go. Easy money today, man. I'm on top of
You're
these.
on fire. Cam,
Honestly,
you know
yeah.
this stuff better than you think you do. I'm telling you, like, you got it.
Look, this is the first time I've casted in like a month, and I cannot believe how many ability names I actually just remember off the top of my head. It's actually crazy. But yeah, Riverdale did get a charge on the mid lane turret there. Very nicely done by Red. Yes, it took Aegis a long time to finish that Riftchild, but once the rest of the team was there, like, no hope really for Flexo to be able to contest that whatsoever. FNB might be caught up, but it is a level 7 Scamber versus a level 11 FNB. FNB almost just solo killed Scamber in the 1v3. He did, unfortunately, not end up using the flash, so he did just fall. And with that, you got one turret now to be taken down by Fluxo. This is the first turret this game.
This is a good cross map from Fluxu. FNB's flash was barely not back up. It was like 2 seconds away. Got one shot, though. Fortunately, Fluxu had the level 11 Zeri in the fight. Fu once again farming over 10 CS per minute. They get a tower back. It is something. Unfortunately, losing a tier 2 and a tier 1 in bottom means that Red is still pretty happy with the play at the end of the day. So, you know, I like the idea. They're trying to get something, but when you're this far behind, just 17 minutes in, what are you supposed to do?
This gold lead has been something Red has truly had a chokehold on this entire series. We have yet to see them even kind of throw a gold lead. Once they have gotten any gold lead, even just 1,000 or 2,000 in their favor, especially I think game 1 was an excellent showing of this, where they got like a 1,500 gold lead off of an 11-minute dragon, and from that they literally never pulled their foot off the brakes, right? It was just, or foot off the gas even.
Yeah.
Red has barely made any significant mistakes that have been punished by Fluxo, enough so that they have never lost a gold lead, which is incredibly impressive over a best-of-5 series.
Yeah, not conceding the advantage once it is secured is definitely impressive stuff. Soul point. It's Hextech Soul, by the way. You called it before the second dragon was taken. Hextech Soul.
No, I saw it was Hextech Soul.
Did you?
I did. I'm sorry.
I thought you were psychic.
Maybe I am.
Who's going to win the CBLOL?
Loud. That's easy.
All right. If Loud wins, Cam is officially psychic. I don't need any other information. Who is going to win, Pain or Loud, when they play each other next week?
Oh, I think Pain.
Pain? Okay, so Loud goes lower bracket. Then what about Cade versus Red? Red's on pretty good form right now. I'm assuming it's Red. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
Fluxu could still, you know, there's a world, maybe. But presuming it's Red, who wins?
Genuinely, I think it's going to be Red versus Loud finals. Red is looking like extremely strong right now.
Do you think Red beats Cade in the upper bracket?
Yes, I think
Right.
I think that's going to be a 5-game series for sure. I think that's going to be a close 5-game series, by the way. Shinny's just dead. I don't know what he's doing.
Trying to walk into his jungle. Unfortunately, does not have the right to do so. All right. Well, if Pain and Red win next weekend, Cam is psychic, but it results in Loud making the lower bracket run against the Red in finals. I like this. I like this bit. We'll have to keep up with that.
Oh, that's what Leandre's looks like now. Okay, yeah, they definitely changed these. Haunted Guys just is Leandre's. I'm sorry.
It's Leandre's looking to the left. It's left, our right.
I'm so good.
Whereas Leandre's, like, they're facing different directions, right?
Okay, but
okay,
FMV has
you
both
know-
of them right now. Oh, no, never mind.
Oh, I was gonna... Oh my god, that's a 2-item rumble. He's so
yeah, don't
fed.
worry about that.
Okay, you know, like how there was that mobile... Oh no, Forlin. He's so cooked.
They're cooking. They're gonna cook Forlin here in a minute. Forlin, he's walking in a Frosty.
Roasted Yordle on a spit.
Level 12 versus level 8. I don't know how it was level Gruff.
This is
13,
mean.
but this is incredibly rude. Let the
Oh
rookie
my
live,
God.
man.
Anyway, I was going to say, you know how there was that like mobile game trend for a long time where every icon was like some guy yelling to the side?
Mm-hmm.
Haunting Guys is that vibes.
No, Exhaust is that vibes.
You think Exhaust is someone looking to the side?
Yeah, literally is. Look, Frosty has Exhaust.
But like it's like a full body shot though. Whereas like I feel like it was always just the face, which is why I was thinking more haunted. I mean, okay, all right, I see you. I see you, Cam.
Oh yeah, Haunted Guys is just a face. Okay.
Right. And
I
it's
see
looking
what
to
you
the, it's
mean.
looking to the, it's like the same. You know, they were all looking like the same direction, all to their left, our right. I feel like it's the same thing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Fluke's got a
I
tier
see.
2.
They also got a Baron, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that. They're
I
about to
did.
get a Shinny.
This game is serious. I mean, yeah, Cam. I know we're kind of having fun at this point. The series is ostensibly over. Red just needs to put the finishing touches on this game. Credit to Fluxu. They've been trying to cross map as best they can, but when you're down 6,000 before the Baron power play has opened everything up, that is a tough place to be, as Red in the 4v5 maybe going to look to open up the base on this top wave. Frosty has the unbreakable will. Should they choose to dive the turret, he would be able to tank it up for quite a long time.
Yep, taking a look here. Once again, Red just finally pushing into the inhibitor turrets. They've got the top lane inhibitor turret, mid lane inhibitor turret. Will it be next up on
Well, here they
the
go.
docket? Scamper using the Hextech portal. A little bit, might be too close. All right, nice touch, nice touch.
He's out of there. But so is Red. And they're going
yeah.
to spend their plunder. And 3 items on
Are they
Bronzy.
pirates?
Yeah, they're pirates. Now, I've decided.
Okay, okay. I'll take your word for it. Thank you.
I think the new pirate mascot, you know how they had to have like parrots and monkeys in the past? Now they have canids.
Is that a pirate?
No, it's like their mascot.
I don't know what a canid is.
I think it's like a fox.
Oh, that would make sense because isn't a fox their logo or their mascot?
Yeah.
Okay.
And like canine, canid, like, right? Like there's etymology there.
Oh my
I think.
gosh, you are so smart, Hawk. Thank you.
Yeah. Etymology is the right word, right? Like word origin, word like roots, or is it linguistics, or both? Adam says
think,
etymology works. Guys, I'm not an etymologist, so I'm not quite sure. Hey Cam, we got a soul point spawning, Fluxu. It's
Thank
time for the
God,
go
give
next
us a fight,
engage. Let's see if they can salvage this.
Fight! Forlin!
Okay,
Forlin,
Forlin,
the
flank
rookie.
position.
He's got flash. He's got Celestic Maelstrom. Does he have this team fight? I don't know. Let's go. Shinny diving in there because...
Oh, what an
No, I
engage!
totally messed up the rhythm. My bad, guys. Bronzy was actually canceled by Forlin in the backside, by the way, but the rest of Fluxo is just simply dead. Forlin, last member standing. He got a really excellent flank onto Bronze, as well as Aegis actually trying to take the dragon, but yeah, the entire rest of the team was already dead off the map, so it didn't actually end up mattering. He did 2,000 damage in this fight. Congratulations to Forlin, but with that as well, congratulations to Red. I mean, just such a clean 3-0 overflux, so they will move to an 11-game winning streak off of their first best of 5 this summer split. They will be going up against VKS the next weekend to move and control their spot on the top side of the bracket here. It's 1 Nexus turret left, 4 members left from Flux, so they just respawn. They're going to try and keep their Nexus alive for a little bit longer, but Red have the pockets. They've got the wallets, and they've got the damage to end this game, end this series. The player cams show it all. That Red is so excited excited with how strong they have shown themselves on the second half of the CBLOL split.
Yeah, Red. I mean, there's no way to sugarcoat it. They absolutely stomped Fluxu in the first round of the playoffs, continuing to surge their way into the back end of the season. They want to claim a crown that has eluded them for 2.5 years. And I mean, incredible showing for them, for Fluxu. Completely out of sorts. They did not look like a playoff team here today. You have to feel for the rookie, but it has been a fall from grace. Only one win off of another playoff team since the start of the split. A far cry from what they once were. But for Red, congratulations in order to them. I mean, they seized the moment at its fullest.
Absolutely massive congratulations to Red. They will take their bows on the stage as they move forward in the upper bracket here on the CBLOL Summer Split. Looking towards next weekend, though, we've got a little bit of a different schedule. It is going to be another super week, as we have had so many this summer so far. So on Friday, August 9th, we will have our 5 p.m. Eastern matchup of Furia taking on Fluxo from today. That is our first lower bracket best of 5. That is an elimination match. Loser of that one truly does go home. And then on Saturday, our normal time, 12 p.m., we will have Pain versus Loud, our upper bracket matchup there, second seed versus fourth seed, of course. And then on Sunday, August 11th, we will have this matchup back at you, Vivo versus Red, on the upper side as well. Of course, winner of Pain versus Loud and winner of VKs versus Red will end up versing each other for their spot in the finals. Yeah, that's the summer. That's the bracket.
Yeah, those upper bracket matchups in particular should be so much fun. I am really excited for Red Canids versus Vivo Cade Stars because that was the last team that beat Red. This is a train that is running away down the tracks right now. We'll see if Cade can stop them or if they will just fall victim to this incredible Red streak that they're on. And then Pain versus Loud, always a classic. Loud looking weaker than they ever have, but we always know how this one tends to go. We'll see if Pain can overcome them.
We will have to wait and see. Those are your games coming at you next week. And Friday is a different start time. Again, 5 p.m. Eastern as opposed to the 12 p.m. Eastern that all of the other days are on. We will catch you then for the next games. That has been all from us for this week. And again, I am Camcom. That is Hawk joining me on the cast. And of course, Rare Adam behind the scenes as our producer. Thank you all for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your week. See you back here on Friday for more CBLOL English action.